wake the fuck up. We are back, episode 34.
35?
Is it 35?
35, yeah.
And restart.
Well, that's
35,
awkward because it says 34 here.
Yeah.
So wake the fuck up. We are back, episode 35. How you boys doing tonight?
I don't feel well.
Humming.
I'm okay.
That's good.
I feel like shit.
I'm a little
I got the
burned.
sniffles.
What would you get burnt from?
Yeah.
A little burned? You're over there looking like the heat miser.
Dude, that fucking hurts. That's hot.
You're going to be singing, I'm Mr.
Well, from
Heat,
our 5.5
Mr.
hour excursion today on Butler's Golf Course.
Excursion.
That was.
Killed a few birds.
So, yeah, we got a lot to talk about here today. I think it was a big week, big day in the MLB world.
I think
No.
across all sports. Like, yeah.
No,
Especially the Olympics.
We might talk about that
A lot
later.
about hockey. Hockey's out of season. No, that's the NBA. Sorry.
So we're going to cover our hot takes here. Last episode, Corey said the Pirates were going to make 0 moves at the deadline. They, in fact, did not.
That
No.
might get covered today.
I don't think so.
Tig says the Pirates were going to sweep the Phillies. And
How'd that work?
That might also get covered today.
I'm not going to lie. I thought you had it.
I
thought
did too.
Yep.
The James said that Jazz will be traded, but not to the Pirates.
Woo!
It's a win.
Yeah, it's a win.
I said the Pirates were going to trade Chapman, and I did not win.
Well, Sheldon publicly came out and said that they weren't moving him. So
Yeah, that was 30 minutes before the deadline was over.
And then Dill said that Bo Bichette would not be a Toronto Blue Jay.
In my defense, there was a lot of chatter.
It
months
looks
ago,
strong. It
he's
looks
one
strong.
of the few left.
And he got injured, and then there was like crickets. So
Well,
you win
They
some,
were
you
big
lose some.
movers.
They were movers, just not him
Or Vlad.
or
or
Vlad,
Vlad.
which I'm upset about and kind of happy about.
So we'll review our hot take all-time record here. Dill still in first place, 10-23. Yet again in second, still kind of you're behind, 9-24. Tiggs, 5-27, my guy.
So close to 6.
So close to 6. So close to having the James fourth place, 4-6.
Woo!
Coming for that ass, boy.
Corey's coming for you.
Right.
Yeah, in about 37 episodes.
And Corey's, what's that thing? 2-31. Ugh. Not a good look. 2 wins.
Who's going to get to the number first? Is the James going to get to 10 losses first, or is Corey going to get to 40 losses first? Corey will.
I'm going the James just purely off the fact that
He's closer.
he's closer.
Okay, mathematically you are.
I was on a smidge of a skid,
Yeah, but
but we rebounded.
Streak starts at 1. What you just say?
He said,
I told you.
he said,
Told you I don't feel well, guys. You got to get me off.
We're already talking about Jim Carrey last episode. That's
You
what he's doing over
got to
here.
get me out of
I
here,
love
dude.
Jim Carrey.
So, yeah, we have our first Pirates-related guest today. Introducing our first Pirates-related guest here, Joe Klimchak. Joe, welcome to the pod, man.
Hey, crew. Great to be here.
Great to have you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you coming on, joining the boys tonight.
An absolute legend.
Thanks for the invite. Yeah.
So tell our listeners a little bit about yourself.
Okay. So I'm the in-game host of the Pirates. I'm in my 20th season now. Are any of you guys 20 years old?
We're all 27, 28.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. So 20 years in-game host. And for those who don't know, that's the person that MCs pregame ceremonies from the field and helps host those games, makes announcements between innings. I'm one of the co-hosts now. Debbie Becker is my co-host at the ballpark. In my 20th season, and been with the team actually since 1994. So what would that be? 30 years now. I started as the backup public address announcer, won an audition to be Tim DeBacco's backup, did that for many, many years.
Oh, yeah. Another
yeah.
Pirates legend.
Oh, my goodness. Yep. And my mentor, and just honored and humbled to say good friend, Tim, just love him. But he's enjoying retirement. That was sad when he moved on. Of course, Guy's doing a great job. We love Guy Junker. But got to know Tim. But yeah, I grew up in Beaver County, Aliquippa. I say Aliquippa because they have the more prominent sports history. I actually went to Center, which is now Central Valley. They merged with Monaca, but from Aliquippa, Beaver County kid. And at the age of 7, my dad took me to my first Pittsburgh Pirates game, Three River Stadium, which you guys would have been babies going to that ballpark if you did go there, right?
I never went to a game,
Yeah,
but I
I was
remember
there.
watching them implode it, though.
Okay.
That's the only thing I remember. I remember going on to Bridge and watching them implode. That's the only memory I have at Three Rivers.
Okay. Yeah.
memory,
So
Dylan.
I was 7. Dad took me to the game. I remember I sold the program. It said Lumber and Lightning on the front. Had like Pops and Cobra and Richie Zisk and Richie Hebner and Rennie Stennon and Manny
That's sweet.
Sanguian. Oh my goodness, yeah. And I walk in and I hear this voice come through the stadium loudspeakers. It's Art McKinnon, the public address announcer. He did for more than 50 years. And I was just like, my dad tells the stories like you just stopped and you were like, you just wanted to do that. You wanted to be an announcer in a big league ballpark. So from the age of 7, I kind of knew the path I wanted to take. And, but along the way I had to overcome a lot of obstacles. Obviously it's not an easy job to get. And especially I had a speech impediment as a kid, had a bad lisp and had an IEP, poor articulation, all this stuff. I actually share this message in schools to try to encourage kids to follow their dreams and pursue them. But pushed through all that, eventually got an audition to audition for the backup public address announcer's position because I was such a pest writing all these letters. They invited me. I showed up with me and 8 others. That would have been like in 1993. And I was just out of college, maybe a year, went to Grove City College, majored in communications. And I show up to the audition, and it's me and like 8 others, and they're all members of the Pittsburgh media, newscasters, sportscasters, like my heroes, veteran broadcasters. So on paper, like this kid had no chance, but I'd really rehearsed a lot and practiced and studied the announcements. So long story short, I won the audition. I was Tim's backup for many, many years. Got the in-game host job in 2005. So again, in my 20th season now. When Tim did retire 2 years ago, I was honored that they did ask me as the longtime backup. Maybe they felt like they had to ask me, I don't know, but they said, if you want if you want the gig, it is absolutely yours. You can be our public address announcer. And remarkably, the job that I wanted my whole lifetime, I said no, thank you. I said I really enjoy what I'm doing. I love being a fan with a microphone, being out in the ballpark, and I kind of settled into really enjoying that and getting to watch the games and chill with fans and make winners. And I've always loved the atmosphere of the ballpark. I mean, I obviously want the Pirates to win. I'm craving like anybody else for us to get back to the postseason and all. But just for me, any night of the ballpark, the lights, the smells, the everything about it. I just love the atmosphere, the fans, the cheers. That's always really struck me. And in year 20, it's no different than it was in year 1. So that's kind of a little background story on me.
It's been pretty electric down there before the right after the All-Star break with the Phillies and Cardinals in town.
Yeah,
it's been a while since I've heard that stadium get that loud.
Right. No, it's. I mean, gosh, for it to be. And what's great is the baseball is. The weather's hot and we're still caring about baseball, right? We're thinking about the scores. We're watching the scoreboard. We're cheering them on. It's late. Gosh, when we go back to the ballpark this Friday, it's going to be August, and we're in a little bit of a chase, right? We're in a pennant chase. You can call it that. This is an exciting time to be on this podcast right now. I mean, this is an exciting time to be a Pirate fan. We made some nice pickups, I think, that filled some holes for us, and it should be fun. So yeah, you're right. No, the games have been great. Of course, Philly fans brought a lot of. They always do. They travel well, but even the Cardinal fans do too. But it was nice to see us play well in front of big crowds, and I know that the players appreciate that. I get to host a lot of little private Q&As with them, season ticket holder events, and they really do feel the energy and feed off that.
Personally, for me, I think me and Dylan were both there Friday and Saturday night of the Philly series, and I think when they walked it off against the Phillies on Friday, for me, being in person in a game, I think that might have been the most electric I've seen at stadium since the Cardinals series right before the All-Star break when Polanco hit that walk off the right field.
Yes.
I think that in person that might have been one of the most electric games I've been to in the last 10 years or so, I'd say.
Yeah. No, I'd agree. No, they're just great, and I mean, full just. When you have 38,000 fans, and when they dim the lights, play the music, and hoist the colors, I mean,
I got chills.
There's nothing better. We have so many great traditions. Yeah, right.
It's great. So, like I said, we each have one question for you, and and then I think we got a bonus one at the end. So, Dill, why don't you go first?
Yeah. So, like many athletes, they have superstition and very strict pregame routines. Do you have any superstitions or pregame routines that you follow at home?
Okay, thanks for that question. That's a great one. Yeah. Yes, I actually do. So when I get to the ballpark, I never deviate from my routine to get down to the field. I know I'm probably saying like, look, you're just the in-game host, you're just the ballpark announcer, but I actually do kind of take it kind of seriously. So when I do some preparation before the game, I don't just walk down there with like scripts and just kind of wing it. I do. I eat in the same place. I don't eat in the press dining area. I actually grab my pregame meal, take it up to one of the club levels, sit in the same seat. I want to be kind of by myself. I want to kind of clear my head. I don't want a lot of activity around me. And then I enter the field the same way. I actually enter the way like the grounds crew would enter, from that right field corner, whereas the rest of my crew they enter from behind home plate. So, and I'm kind of superstitious about that. If I didn't enter that way, I would feel like there's something off about this. But that's really the only routine that I do every game that's a little different. Yeah.
That's cool. Thank you.
Sure.
We got one of our Zachs here with another question.
Yeah, hi Joe. Zach, one of three.
Yeah, Zach.
So you mentioned that your dream was to become an MLB announcer or a game show host. It seems like you kind of found like the happy medium of both of those.
Yeah.
So over the last 20 seasons, what have been some of your favorite moments in the stadium?
Okay. Yeah. Oh, there've been a bunch, really, because I do love the game shows. Yeah, like my dream job was become a Major League Baseball announcer in a ballpark with a backup plan of becoming a game show host. So hosting game shows in the ballpark, that makes for a lot of exciting moments for me. And there are game shows I like more than others. So I love any game show. I'm more into the baseball quiz, Family Feud, asking questions where the fans can play along. I'm kind of that throwback. I'm old. I'm 55. So I'm kind of like, you guys won't remember Bob Barker and those guys, Wink Martindale and
with
Richard
the
Dawson.
Mike.
Okay, that's right, the Skinny Mike. That's right. Yeah, we actually had that when we played. Remember the game? Remember the game Bucko, like Plinko? We used to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Right, that was a classic. So I love those kind of games because they're games the fans can play along to, not just the contestant. But you can sit there and press your girlfriend. Hey, I know that answer to that question. So those games have been great. Obviously the wild card games were exciting. I got to announce, unbeknownst to me, when I introduced the game time first pitch at each of those wild card games, the national media, ESPN, I think, was covering those games, and I didn't know it at the time. If I'd have known, I'd been really freaked out. But they picked up my feed, and I was just winging it from the mound. If I'd have known they were carrying it, I would have definitely read the thing. But I was like, I'm on the middle of the mound, like interesting diaper, la la, and just like screaming at the top of my lungs. You couldn't even hear me. It didn't even matter what you said, right? I could have been reading the Constitution, and nobody would have known. I was just out of this world. But the wild card games were great. I got to make 2 trips to Williamsport. The Major League Baseball chose me to be the in-game host for the Little League Classic. That was fun, and I actually got to fly with the team. I never got to fly on the charter, but I got to twice. I got to take the team plane out there. That was kind of cool. It was like a 30-minute trip, right?
Oh yeah, as soon as you're up, you're back down.
Exactly. Right, that was pretty wild.
The seatbelt sign doesn't come on.
No, it doesn't at all. That's right. Yeah. And I also I do love all the faith nights. We do that every year. That was a tradition started by Clint Hurdle, and we do that once a year. And that's a special time. About 45 minutes after game, players share their faith about how their relationship with God and how it's impacted them and their families. So I enjoy that too. But every night's exciting. I don't know if anybody's going to ask me for my worst moments or can I go ahead and share those two?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, let me just go ahead. You know what? The 2 moments that I dreaded, and I never dread anything. I'm a generally always happy person, always excited to be there. Whether we're up or down, I'm feeling really good. But I couldn't help but want to just like crawl, actually leave the ballpark twice, and it was at the 2014 and 2015 wild card games. Of course, those are the 2 real bummers. 14 against the Giants. So I think we give up. We're facing Bumgarner. We give up 4 runs in the top of the 4th, and at the end of that half inning, I have to go out and host the pierogi race. Okay, so like that is that crazy? I mean, even if we were winning, I don't think anybody wants to see the pierogi race that night, let alone losing 4-0. So that was, and the identical thing happened the next year, 2015. Yep. Arrieta's on the mound. We were down 3-0. Those were just like, wow, do we really need to be doing this? So, those are tough moments. Otherwise, it's all been great, all been fun, and I've enjoyed every minute. Yeah.
Love that. We got Zach number 2 here with
okay, Zach.
with another question here for you.
Yeah, so we were wondering because we've been there for a decent amount of games this year, and we haven't seen Family Feud yet. So is it going to return at all?
Boy, The answer is no.
Darn.
Damn.
But I wish. Hey, I mean, I'm happy to hear you guys enjoyed that. So it's called Fast Bucks, and that's our version of it, our scoreboard version of it. And man, it's one of my favorites. And you guys aren't just saying that; you really do enjoy it. Yes?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
100%.
We played Family Feud on our podcast not too long ago, and it was
Wow, I got to check that out. That's awesome. Yeah, like I just love that game, and I'm gonna definitely pass that on to my scoreboard crew. The crew at Yinscast, right? This is
Right,
Yinscast.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bring it back.
Okay, bring it back.
Bring it back.
That we got 4 votes for that, so I'm all about it. Not coming back this year. We have what are we doing this year? Yeah, we do the inning of winning. We are. I had to push to bring back baseball quiz, but I think I'm kind of winning them over. I was like, we've been playing this back since Three River Stadium. It's a tradition, the box of mystery, and I think they're seeing that we get our best reactions in that end of the second break when we play that game, as opposed to like the fruit roll-up challenge or like that kind of stuff. When we're, there's some silly stuff that's fun, chugging pickle juice and chugging blue milk and all those kind of things. They're great. It just depends on what you like. I do like the contests, the games, the points, the strategies. So hopefully we'll bring it back next year.
For sure. We actually did the fruit roll up challenge on the pod too. We had like a little Christmas edition this past Christmas, and we had fun. We did some games, and that was actually one of our games we did between the 4 of us. So that was fun.
Well, I tell you what, we need to get your champion. If you get your champion down, Zach, we have each other's cell numbers. Let's set up. When I usually see the scripts a couple days ahead of time. Maybe we'll get your Yinscast champion on the game and see how they do against another
yes,
fan.
sir.
Yeah,
That'd be lovely.
Yeah, I love that idea.
Fantastic.
So my question was sort of answered here. So out of your 20 years, I'm going to change it up here. Out of your 20 years with the Pirates, who is your I don't want to say who do you think the funniest Pirate of all time is? I know that we have some jokesters on the team now.
Yeah.
Who do you think your all-time funniest Pittsburgh Pirate is?
Okay, let me think back. That's going over 20 years now. So that's let me see.
A lot of players there.
Yeah, there's a lot of players. This is going to surprise you actually, because on the field you would have thought this guy is not a funny guy. He maybe doesn't have any sense of humor, but one of the funniest guys off the field, at least to me, like kidding me, jabbing me. One of them anyway. I'll give you 3. One in the top 3 would be Pedro Alvarez. Is that crazy? Yeah. Just like he
I didn't expect that name.
Yeah, lighthearted guy that had a sense of humor and he liked to send me a lot of zingers. Like I've done spring training, collecting scoreboard stuff. Very funny guy. Number 2 would be AJ Burnett.
Okay, I love me some Batman.
Yeah, he was great. I mean, he would make me just die laughing. He was. I got to interview him a couple times, and he's just. And it's more not because he's trying to be funny. He's just kind of tells it like it is. Like
Right.
He just don't say anything.
No bullshit.
Yeah, for sure. And let me get one from this team. Let me think here. The funniest guy on this year's team. Oh, working my way around. No. Well, I mean, just great person. I'm gonna throw Kutch out there just because, not necessarily funny, but he likes to dance and he's always loose. And Family Guy. I get to host that. They have something called Family Day at the ballpark. So after one of the Sunday games, or it's a day game. I forget when. It was after a Thursday game this year. Close down the ballpark, fans leave, and the team can come out there with their families, wives, kids, run around, bounce house, play wiffle ball. It's just a fun time. Yeah, and Kutch is just, I mean, he looks like first time through Kutch. It's like he's just having a blast, happy to be in Pittsburgh, loving his kids, and just it's a lot of fun. So those are 3 that have just been just really enthusiastic, fun-loving guys that I've really had a pleasure meeting.
For sure. So we actually have a 5th member of the podcast here. He had a heart transplant a couple weeks ago.
Oh no!
So he's been out for our last couple podcasts, but he has a question. I'll ask it here for you.
Okay.
It says, growing up, what was or still is your favorite sports team or player?
Okay, well, I mean, it's always been the Pirates. I've always loved all Pittsburgh sports teams, but it was always, Pirates and then Penguins and then Steelers. I'd say Penguins and Steelers are kind of the same, but the Pirates are my favorite. My second actually favorite baseball team. I don't say this to everybody, but my mom grew up in Philadelphia, so I actually had a Steve Carlton jersey growing up. I was a Philly fan, so So those are my two favorites, but definitely, obviously, Pirates.
Right.
And my favorite Pirate growing up, I was a left-handed pitcher, not a very good one. I had no muscle tone, had no fastball, but my out pitch was a sweeping curve, and it rarely. I mean, again, I had very little success, but maybe a guy that before your time, Rod Scurry. Does that name mean anything to anybody?
I've heard
Rod
the
Scurry.
name.
I've heard that.
Okay.
I don't know much about
Yeah.
him.
So in high school they actually called me Hot Rod because they called Rod Scurry Hot Rod. So I loved Rod Scurry, and my favorite starter of all time was John Candelaria, number 45, and who I actually it's a real. Again, honor and feel humbled to actually call him a friend. We see each other. We host a lot of alumni events together. So two lefty pitchers, John Candelaria and Rod Scurry.
Nice.
Yeah.
That. And then my bonus question here for you kind of goes into the Family Feud question from Zach number 2 here. This was probably about, I want to say, maybe 4 seasons ago. So Zach number 2 here is a 2-time Family Feud player. In the ballpark.
No way.
In the ballpark.
With me.
With you. So
I love it.
The first time around, I believe he was up against Trevor Williams.
Yes.
And the very last question was, name something on a Permane sandwich.
Okay.
And Zach number 2 here misheard the question, and he said wings. do you remember this? And I believe Trevor Williams said sauerkraut. So they both lost. Do you remember the answer wings from like 4 seasons ago?
Oh my god! No. You know what? I don't remember many answers, but I do remember that one. That is so good. That is so good. Wow, that was a classic. That was like, oh my goodness. And I hope, the last thing I want to do is embarrass anything. I hope I didn't make fun of you or anything like that.
Oh,
because
no, your reaction was great. You heard the answer and you were like, wings.
Oh my goodness! Wow. You know, that was so. In fact, all time, I do recall when you said wings. That was the second craziest answer I ever got. It wasn't the craziest. It was the second. That was wild. I can't believe it. That was awesome. So we need to get you on to redeem yourself on Family Feud.
So he actually did redeem himself. So three seasons ago, we saw you out in the Riverwalk, and I was like, hey Joe. I was like, my buddy over here, he wants to redeem himself, and his I can't remember off the top of my head who he was going up against, but the last question, or the question that he won on, was name something that a pirate wears, and he said boots.
Yeah, which is almost 30 points.
And we were all like, boots, huh? And then it was like the second highest answer. So
nice.
But I love to hear that you remember that wings comment.
I do,
because that's legendary in our little podcast group here.
That's fantastic. Can I share the craziest answer?
Of course.
Real quick. I'll do it in 60 seconds. So we're playing a game, and this was years ago, day game, and one of the local colleges had an outing, and I wanted to get one of them on. So I had this female. She was actually maybe in admissions or something like that, and I said, okay, it was a true or false question, and the person to ask it was a person on the video board. I think it was who was our left-handed reliever? from years ago.
Tony Watson, maybe.
Tony Watson, thank you. Tony Watson asked the question, true or false. And I went to the lady. I said, okay, true or false, true or false. And she thought about it for a long time. I'm like, wow, we're running out of time. The next inning's about to start. I said, I really do need an answer, man. What do you have? And she said, Roberto Clemente. And I was like, what? I didn't know how to respond to that. I said, no, it's a true or false. And then she got it wrong, whatever. But I was in total shock then. So a lot of people remember that. A lot of people at that game will remind me of that game. Like they didn't know what was happening.
Right.
Anyway, that was that.
That's great.
But wings was second best. Yeah.
There we go. Love to hear that. Before we wrap up here, do you have any questions for us? Putting you on the spot.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, let me ask you this real quick. Can we go rapid fire? Each of you, what you, how about a suggestion for in-game entertainment?
Okay. Who wants to go first?
You.
Yeah,
Me.
Go ahead, Zach, number 3.
And your voices will be heard. I'm just going to go right to Chris Vanderbeek, our outstanding director of in-game entertainment, because he's open to ideas. We have these little one-on-ones in the postseason or in the off season. And he's like, what's working, what's not, what are the fans looking, what are they craving for? So I'm listening right now.
I have to go with more of the Super Mario Bros. on the scoreboard.
In right field. I like that. Super Bucko Run. Got it. Yeah.
I do like that.
That was a good
Me too.
one.
I've seen that. I've been to. We all have the ballpark pass here. I've been to,
Oh, yeah.
I want to say maybe 18 or 19 games this year, and I've seen it once so far. So
We've played it. I think we played it at 90s night, 80s night, and we just played it this weekend. I forget why we did it, but maybe 2 or 3 times. But it could be coming back more often. It's great. It's classic. Always gets good reviews. So we did it every night for like 3 years, and we thought time to cool it off a little bit. But it's coming back. Yeah. Thank you.
good, Dill.
This isn't like a specific game, but maybe more team games, like a 2v2 kind of like a teammate kind of thing. Because I feel like every game's like 1v1 or solo, so maybe like bring a team aspect into it.
Interesting. That could be fun. All right. Yep. Like maybe tossing something back and forth, that kind of stuff, or like whatever.
Like an egg toss,
Or-
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe or like an egg toss, or like maybe in a hot summer day, like a water balloon toss.
Yeah.
Yes. Like that. Okay. Very good.
I'm still on the Family Feud bus.
Yes. Thank you. I'm with you.
I used to watch Family Feud when I was at Duquesne, like daily. So like when I saw it, I was like, it's something easy to like we all can participate in. And then when somebody says wings, you're like, haha, look at that guy.
I love it. I'm so with you. Okay, that's
Zach
great.
number 2, last one here.
I was just gonna say I agree. Like with what you said about the quiz games, I think those are fun too.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Yeah, multiple choice questions. Right. I agree. I think the questions, the quizzes, because we went a couple years without anything like that, and now that they're coming back, I think fans like that. I can just tell by the reaction they do. Even just set aside the box of mystery, just a chance to answer a sports trivia question. We love sports in Pittsburgh.
always go for the big balls.
Pirates history. Yeah, and you learn
we
something.
can
You
never
come
get
away
rid of the
learning
box of
something.
mystery.
No.
If
We
the
gotta
box
go
of
for the
mystery goes away, the city's riding.
I agree. I agree.
Well, Joe, that's about all we got for you today. We appreciate your time, and I'm sure we'll see you around the ballpark maybe beginning of next week. I think we're all out this weekend, but maybe we'll catch up early next week at the ballpark here.
Guys, I really enjoyed this. Thanks for the time, and I'll see you next week. Let's go Bucks. Thanks,
All right.
guys.
Thanks,
Thank
Joe.
you.
Have a good
Thanks,
one,
Joe.
man.
Take care. Bye-bye.
So, looks like Tiggs, you got a lot to cover here in the MLB world. So, what happened?
Hold on,
in
I'm
the
gonna
last week and a
scroll
half?
1 page, 6 page,
yeah.
12 page. Ooh, damn,
So I'm
you
gonna
got
be
a lot.
honest here. There's a lot,
Yeah, no fucking shit, dude.
but I'm gonna rapid fire this. Okay,
Oh, I'm scared.
not quite auction style, but gonna try to.
I think you
rapid
need to
fire.
do it auction style.
Yeah, and then we'll come back and cover a few of the bigger trades. but
We'll make a whole circle. We'll make a.
yeah,
He
A
said
whole
we'll
circle.
come-
We're gonna
we'll-
build the fucking house.
for
in a plan.
reference, I also on this list, everywhere you see a number, that's what they are now ranked in that team's top 30.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so a lot of prep work went into this. Tiggs.
I mean, there's a lot of research.
It took me like an hour and 15.
You know what?
I
I'm
respect
proud of
that.
you for
I
all this
respect
prep work.
I'm here for it.
I'm here for the
Sometimes he
Tiggs
doesn't
prep.
do it till about 3 minutes before.
Yeah.
And I still did.
You did more work on this podcast than Corey's done for his games for all 35 episodes.
Corey catching stray.
He's not even here to defend himself. All right, Tiggs, rattle him off here, bud.
So to start, no top 100 prospects were moved at all,
That's crazy.
but there was a lot of, as I previously mentioned,
Top
top
200
30
prospects.
top 30 prospects moved within the team. So to start, the Dodgers acquired Flaherty for Theron Lirzano, who's the number 5 prospect now, and infielder Trey Sweeney, who I'm sure some of you probably know. Used to be a big Yankees prospect, not anymore.
Yeah. How's that auto, Corey?
Padres acquired Tanner Scott and Brian Hoeing for left-hand pitcher Robbie Snow and right-hand pitcher Adam Mazur and infielder Graham Pauley, who are respectively the 2, 8, and 12 prospects for the Marlins now. The Guardians acquired Alex Cobb from the Giants for Jacob Bershannon, a player to be named. Red Sox acquired Luis Garcia from Angels for 4 prospects. Orioles acquired left-hand pitcher Gregory Soto from the Phillies for right-hand pitcher Seth Johnson, who's now their 10th prospect, and right-hand pitcher Moises Chase, who's now their 25th prospect.
Bro, can you breathe, please? Holy fuck.
I was going to say something about the Jack Flaherty trade here.
Well, no, we're going to come back to
Oh,
it.
But he's
okay.
coming back.
Wake me up when we're done.
The Dodgers acquired Kevin Kiermaier from the Blue Jays for Ryan Yarbrough. Don't really understand that one.
We should have got him a skinny mic for this. Like, just Bob Barkered it.
The D-backs acquired Dylan Flores from the Nationals for third baseman Andres Chaparro. Orioles acquired Austin Slater and Levon Soto from the Reds for a player to be named later.
Or cash.
Or cash. The Rays acquired Dylan Carlson from the Cardinals for right-hand pitcher Sharma Armstrong. Don't understand that one either.
Distant relative of Lance.
Phillies acquired Tanner Banks from the White Sox for shortstop William Bergoglio, who's now their 15th prospect. Orioles acquired Eloy Jimenez from the White Sox for left-hand pitcher Trey McGuff.
Timeout.
I don't
One
understand that
question.
trade.
One question. Sorry. Is there like? I mean, obviously, like Eloy Jimenez is a bigger name than Austin Slater. Is there any rhyme or reason as to what order you put these in, or you
No,
just,
they actually are going like reverse chronological because that's how I looked them all up.
Okay.
So we started with the newest, and we're going back in time now, Dylan.
You had me and you lost me. Carry on.
No, they are not ranked in any way, if that's what you were asking. Mets acquired right-hand pitcher Tyler Zuber from the Rays for right-hand pitcher Paul Gervais, if that's how you say that. Rangers acquired Andrew Chafin from the Tigers. Mets acquired Pete Blackburn from the A's for...
That's Paul Blackburn, not Pete. Pete Blackburn is the NHL insider, isn't he?
Yes.
I'm getting, what do they call that when you like stare at the road for too long?
Bro, I don't
Road
know.
hypnosis. That's what I'm
Yeah,
getting
right.
now.
Yeah,
Looking
like,
at
you're
these.
just seeing a bunch of letters out here. My voice just cracked and no one said anything. Thank you.
The Mariners acquired right-hand pitcher JT Shargois from the Marlins for
J.G.
right-hand pitcher.
Wentworth.
The Royals acquired Paul DeJong from the White Sox for right-hand pitcher Jared Rosado. The Royals acquired right-hand pitcher Lucas Erceg from the A's for right-hand pitcher Mason Barnett and right-hand pitcher Will Klein and outfielder Jared Dickey, who are now their 15th and 28th prospects. The D-backs acquired first baseman Josh Bell
Wow. Haven't
from
heard
the
that
Marlins
name.
for a player to be named later or cash.
I still
Or
got
cash.
PTSD from player to be named later.
Yeah.
Shane Baz.
The Orioles acquired left-hand pitcher Trevor Roger from the Marlins for second baseman / outfielder Connor Norby, who is probably the biggest prospect out of the day to be traded, and Kyle Stowers.
That was a fleece of the century. That is unreal. To get Norby and Stowers for a regular reliever.
He's a starter, but
His brother's the reliever.
Tyler?
Taylor, I think it is.
Taylor.
Yeah.
I thought they were both relievers.
Maybe Taylor, Tyler, and Trevor. Maybe there's 3 T's.
Maybe they're not even related.
Trevor Rogers isn't related to them, I don't think.
That's why I thought of Tyler, and I was like, oh, his brother. And it was, never mind, carry on.
Moving on, the Red Sox acquired Lucas Sims from the Reds for right-hand pitcher Ovis Portes. The Yankees acquired Mark Leader Jr. from the Cubs for infielder Ben Cowles and right-hand pitcher Jack Neely, who are now their 30th
Why not
20th
horses?
ranked prospects. The Braves acquired Jorge Soler and Luke Jackson from the Giants for Tyler Maztek and Sabin Caballos.
Caballos.
Camilo Cabello. I don't
Yeah,
know.
Cabello. Yep, nailed it.
The Brewers acquired right-hand pitcher Frankie Montas from the Reds for Joey Weimer, Jacob Junis, and Cash. The Dodgers acquired Ahmed Rosario from the Rays for right-hand pitcher Michael Flynn
For the second year in a row.
for the second year in a row. Astros acquired Yusei Kikuchi from the Blue Jays for right-hand pitcher Jake Bloss, who's now their third-ranked prospect. Infielder / outfielder Will Wagner, who's now their 22nd, and infielder Joey Loperfido.
Loperfido. That's a hell of a name.
The Guardians acquired Lane Thomas from the Nationals for left-hand pitcher Alex Clemmy, shortstop Rafael Ramirez Jr., who's their 23rd ranked prospect, and third baseman Jose Tena. The Mariners acquired Justin Turner from the Blue Jays, and here's one of the big ones. So the Dodgers acquired Tommy Edman and Michael Kopech and whoever the hell Oliver Gonzalez is. The Cardinals acquired Eric Fetty, Tommy Pham, and the White Sox acquired infielder Miguel Vargas, infielder Gerald Perez, 13th ranked prospect now, and infielder Alexander Albertus in a 3-team deal. I don't even understand why that had to be a 3-team deal.
Yeah, I don't get it.
The Reds acquired Ty France. I'm not even going to look at these prospects unless they're worth anything. The Royals acquired Michael Lorenzen. Rangers acquired Carson Kelly from the Tigers for one of the players who, another card I now own. The player doesn't play for them anymore, Tyler Owens.
Who the hell is that?
He was the Rangers, I think, 6th ranked prospect.
Oh.
But it's the same thing as them trading Cole Reagans last year.
That's
Getting rid of
unfortunate.
their pitching prospects.
Yeah.
The Cubs acquired Isaac Paredes from the Rays for Christopher Morel and 2 other players. There's another confusing one.
Morale's popping off right now.
He wasn't popping off before. He's batting 199.
Nope, but he just needed he needed to bat inside instead of outside. Yeah, that's what it was.
The Mets got Jesse Winker from the Nationals. The Phillies got Carlos Estevez from the Angels, who's having a really good season, for a player named Samuel Aldeguerri, who's now their 8th-ranked prospect. The Yankees obviously acquired Jazz from the Marlins.
I mean, boo for
Hot take.
hot take, but boo.
Woo!
For 3 prospects. The Cubs acquired Nate Pearson from the Blue Jays for 2 prospects. The Mets acquired Ryan Stanek from the Mariners for a prospect. The Orioles got Zach Eflin and Cash from the Rays for 3 prospects who are now ranked in their top 30.
They got a hole for that.
Yeah. The Mariners got Yimi Garcia from the Blue Jays, a reliever. Orioles got Sir Anthony Dominguez and Christian Pache from the Phillies for Austin Hayes. That was an interesting trade.
Yeah.
I do like that trade.
The Red Sox got James Paxton from the Dodgers.
Who was just there last year.
Going
They
back.
said, welcome back.
Don't even have to
The
edit the
Mariners
jersey.
acquired Randy Arozarena from the Rays for 2 prospects and a player to be named later, 2 of which are now in their top 15.
Okay.
The D-backs got A.J. Puck from the Marlins for 2 prospects, one of which his name is
Devison.
Devison De Los Santos. Good looks, still good looks.
He
Who's now their 7th ranked.
he
prospect.
writes these down, but doesn't even know how to pronounce these names.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Dylan. Okay, you.
He's
Dylan's
like,
so
I'm
smart
trading
as you.
38 into 350.
De Los Santos is a beast. He's batting like 360.
Yeah, he looks real
AAA
good.
with like 25 home runs. He's nice.
Yes, yeah. No, if there was any trades you wanted to go back to talk about, we can.
He said, hold your applause to the end.
The Yankees were in on Jack Flaherty, and then they had medical issues that they were concerned about. So they did back out on that. The Padres kind of surprised me with getting Tanner Scott. Definitely didn't think that probably the best relief pitcher that was on the open market would go to the Padres.
Yep.
The Padres, the Mets, and the D-backs all put a heavy focus on their bullpens.
Yeah. But I
Well,
wasn't.
the D-backs got smoked last year because of their bullpen. Like, they had Seawald, and that was it.
Jorge Soler reunion in
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
That was kind of cool. And then he hit a nuke his first at bat.
You know who else hit a nuke in their first at bat? Tommy Pham.
Did he really?
He had a
Yeah,
grand
legit
slam.
Grand slam.
Oh, that's cool. Good for him.
Ask me how many times I had to go back and forth between the Marlins and the White Sox top 30 prospect list.
Pirates guy that they were linked to, Lane Thomas, went to the Guardians. I kind of like that for them. I feel like they got him for rather cheap.
Yeah, when I first saw that it was 3 players, I thought they overpaid, but then going back, it's 3 that are basically only one of them was in their top 30.
Like you said about the Dodgers, I don't understand why that deal with the Cardinals and White Sox had to be a 3-team deal. But Tommy Pham obviously went back to St. Louis where things started, and I feel like the White Sox didn't really get much.
I feel like the White Sox are the losers of the trade deadline.
Correct.
They
Like-
definitely are.
The Marlins know that they suck, and they sold their whole damn team.
Yeah.
The White Sox know they suck, and they're like, let's hold.
I
You know who else fucking held everything? The Angels. Why are you holding on to those dudes? Like, they did that a few years ago with Ohtani when people were like, he's not going to resign, he's not going to resign, he's not going to resign. And instead of trading him away to get pretty much whatever price they wanted, they kept him to get ticket revenue, and now look where they are.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't
Yeah.
understand.
I don't get why Taylor Ward's still an Angel.
No.
And Reed
Randy.
Detmers.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the White Sox should have just completely blown it up.
I don't know
But-
if the Angels are still hopeful that Mike Trout is going to carry
He just
this franchise.
got his rehab shut down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
after the first inning.
Yeah.
And Rendon's hurt again. I don't think
Yeah,
that
I mean,
dude. That
Rendon-
dude pulled off the biggest fleece job ever on a contract.
He's a
He's the Mark
scumbag.
Stone of
yeah,
I hate
I do not
Rendon.
like him at all.
No.
No, he's
After-
very.
after he signed that like 4-year, $120 million deal with the Nationals, right?
He got paid after they won the World Series, yeah.
Yeah.
Something of note as well is that both the Cubs and the Reds went for a soft sell, so they're just
Yeah,
they're
like
not
a-
going for it.
it's like almost like a retool on the fly.
Mhm.
I'm kind of surprised Morel got moved because a lot of people in Chicago
Like
hate-
him,
they hated that deal.
yeah.
But I did see. Did anyone see the video of him trying to? They were teaching him how to catch baseballs in the dome because he was losing the balls on the ceiling. It was pretty fun. I mean, he caught all the balls, but like you could see him, and like he would be here. He would be here, and the ball's like by the door.
It's probably hard, but
a trade that I really like is Austin Hayes going to the Phillies.
yeah.
I really like that deal. So Anthony Dominguez is a good relief pitcher, and Christian Pache has about the same arm as Sawinski does. But I really like that trade for the Phillies. And we do have the Pirate game on in the background, so if you see us pausing for anything, we're in a pennant race, so we're not missing any games here.
Yeah, we're sweating this one.
But yeah, that's really all I want to say about the rest of the league.
What else was there?
I do want to mention one. I want to mention one,
Yeah.
and it's because I've been a big fan of him. He was linked to the Pirates. It was also my hot take that he wasn't coming here, although I would have liked if he did. But Jazz is absolutely smacking the shit
I would say so.
out of balls for the Yankees.
First Yankee player to ever hit 4 home runs in his first 3 games.
That's why I was never worried about him if we did trade for him, because I think he was just like depressed in Miami.
His first game, he had like 2 home runs, a stolen base, 3 runs. I'm like,
And then he's really good defensively at third base.
yeah.
It was his first ever game at third base.
Yeah.
The
I mean, he
thing-
had an error.
Well,
No,
yeah,
he saved the run.
he saved a run, but the thing is, like, Torres,
I was wrong.
Torres, when they traded for him, Torres was like, I'm not moving from second base. Dude, you suck.
He has the
Like-
most errors in the league.
Yeah, he's also ass.
Yeah.
So, like, and you're in a contract year. You think they're bringing you back after that? Good luck, Charlie. You ain't coming back. Your days in a pinstripe uniform are over.
Good
Yeah.
for him.
Did the Pirates make any trades? I didn't hear you say them.
I don't.
Wasn't Corey's hot take right?
Right. You're right.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah,
Moving
okay.
on. Psych.
Why would it be right?
So the Pirates made about 5 or 6 moves.
All within the last
surprisingly.
half
All
hour.
within the last half hour.
Ben Sherrington said, "Oh fuck."
I
He
think
said,
I
shit,
got
what
this
time
in
is
it? He said, "It's my nap."
somewhat chronological order, close enough. To start, we'll go over with the Priester trade, which came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Acquired Nick York from the Red Sox for Quinn Priester.
I'll take it.
Nick York is a second baseman /
Corner outfielder.
Corner outfielder. Pretty close to the majors. He could come up at any moment, really, based off of what it looked like. I like it. I mean, obviously Priester wasn't the future here, so
Right. I feel like there just wasn't room for him anymore. Like they moved him to the bullpen. The first game out of the bullpen, he pitched tremendously, and then his last game he struggled a little bit. But
I think that's an overpay from the Red Sox. I'll take
I think
that
so too.
Well,
any
the Red
day.
Sox are also hurting for starting pitching because
Yeah.
some of their guys are hurt. Like, they have Pivetta, sure. I don't know if Cutter Crawford's still at the pitching at the rate that he was at the start of the year, but, like, a lot of their guys are hurt. So he's young enough that they could turn it around. I could see him being a serviceable pitcher for them. And the Red Sox stadium is pretty favorable to pitchers. I mean, the center field wall.
So is PNC Park.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But the Green Monster's a little bit taller than right field. So I wish him all the best. I've always liked him, but
He was a cool guy. We met him.
Never
at,
had beef.
Met him at Pirate Fest.
Yeah.
Super chill guy.
yeah,
Great guy.
super nice guy.
Wish him nothing but the best.
Secondly, they acquired Jalen Beeks from the Rockies for Luis Peralta. I guess that's just
Who
a
gives a fuck?
desperate move for a left-handed pitcher. I don't know.
That's a bullpen guy. He has a really weird release. Have you seen
No.
videos of his release?
No.
It's like a very awkward release.
Everyone's worried about his inflated ERA. I'm like, well, everyone's ERA is inflated in Colorado. So
Yeah, I was gonna say
That's true. Also acquired Josh Walker from the Mets for Nicholas Coreno.
who and who?
Just another pitcher who
Okay.
apparently secondary position is left field. So
Good. Keep
so
at it.
is who was the pitcher for the Phillies that
Played
threw-
center.
No, that got brought into a game like 2 years ago. It was extra innings to play left field, and he threw something out at home.
I
Right.
got
Oh, that's
that.
gonna bug the fuck out of me. He was one of their like starting pitchers too. That's gonna bug the fuck out of me.
Who
if it
who
was.
is? What team is it?
It was the
The
Phillies.
Phillies.
well, that's just like the Yankees bringing what's his name, Brett Phillips, in as a pitcher.
Yeah, he was throwing 97, blowing it by dudes. That's a little bit different.
Yeah, but he wasn't even in the league. They just brought him
Did
back
you
as a
did
pitcher.
you see the video of him actually pitching? And the announcers were like, "He looks eerily similar to the Brett Phillips that used to play in the majors."
Did you see he's back?
Yeah,
The Yankees
brought
selected
him
his
in.
contract.
Literally what he just said.
I'm too busy looking up stats.
Who was it?
Vince Velasquez.
Vince
That's
Velasquez,
it.
who it
The
was.
GOAT.
Pirates
years,
legend.
five years ago, 2019.
Yep.
Actually, almost to the day, August 2nd. Or so.
And then moving on to arguably the biggest move of the day, got Brian De La Cruz from the Marlins for Jun Suk Shim
Yep.
and Garrett Forrester.
I feel like we didn't really give up a lot.
We
Shim-
didn't, but Shim is legit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
He's
doubt that.
young,
They're both.
throws gas.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's the same thing. It's pitcher depth. That's what we have.
Yeah, but I'm perfectly fine with it. I think De La Cruz, as long as he keeps hitting.
There he is. First hit was a Pirate.
Yep. You heard it here first, folks.
Well, there we
Then-
go.
then settle
Off
on
to a
that
good
one.
start.
Batting 1,000. Extend him tomorrow.
And then a surprise trade that kind of came out of nowhere. Acquired Isaiah Kiner Falefa. I think I said this.
Yep.
last time,
Falefa.
right?
Falefa.
And cash considerations for Charles McAdoo.
Not
so
mad about that.
the cash considerations, we got $2.2 million
Yeah, I saw that.
in that deal, and when the Pirates posted it, they didn't include that.
The Pirates didn't post it.
no.
That's good.
Joey Bart just crushed
Bro,
a
that
home
ball-
run.
That's on a fucking
That
train.
just hit the window.
I think it hit the train.
So
Baseball savant, here I come.
yeah, that's all I gotta say. Charles McAdoo has a lot of potential, I think, to be something very special. But we also sold him at, I think, what might be his highest point, and we got a utility player. We got Josh Harrison 2.0.
Yeah, except
Which is something that we need, honestly.
he can play every single position except pitcher and catcher.
And
Yep.
he's hitting a career best right now.
Yeah, did you see his comment? He said I was going for a batting title and now I'm
Now
going for a World Series. I was like,
Series.
wait, all right.
That ball was 107-407.
Damn.
Not as far
smoked.
as we thought, but still smoked.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of sucks having to give up McAdoo and another player I wish nothing but the best for. Seems like a fun player, fun guy. So,
Fun guy.
fun guy.
Let's get on to the real trades here, Tiggs.
Oh, yeah, the real trades. Read a Martin.
I mean-
R.I.P. to the Gatorade bat.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
who's-
my dad said. Who's gonna do the Gatorade bath now? Yeah, that ball's
Goat
on, that
for
ball's on
that.
train tracks.
Not the best pitcher this year. For Ronaldus Jimenez,
I don't give a
don't
fuck
know if
who
he's
it was.
related to Eloy.
He's in the
but,
Dominican League. He's like 18 years old.
So a lot of 18-year-olds are traded around.
And then finally, traded Patrick Riley for Billy Cook from the Orioles. They're now our number 18 prospect. 1-for-1. Patrick Riley, I think, was 15th or 16th.
Listen,
He
any-
was right around
Patrick
there.
Riley was 19.
Anybody coming
Oh.
anybody coming out of the Orioles system,
He's
we'll take him.
Probably pretty good.
Right.
Another player who's right on the border of the majors, so I like both of those moves.
I like him.
I do like that we traded pitching for bats. They might not have been the best bats that were on the market, but we obviously have a lot of pitching prospects, and not a lot of hitting prospects. So getting
Trade
whatever
him
we
up.
could for him, even if it was like a Patrick Riley for Billy Cook trade, like
I'm okay with that.
prospect pitcher for a prospect bat, like I'm not
Yeah.
not worried about that at all.
I'll also trade a double-A bat for a major league bat any day of the week.
100%.
I would give it if you give the Pirates anything less than I think a B.
I was gonna say B-.
I would say B to B minus. I think you're just hating.
C plus.
Yeah, I think that's
I
too
did
low.
definitely in the B range.
The team got better. That's what
Yes.
matters.
Yeah, significantly better.
Correct.
And then how about Yinzer Palooza, huh?
That's pretty neat.
Obviously, you two went to the first game. We went to Saturday.
Talked about a little bit about that with Joe. You know.
Yeah. But took 2 out of 3 from the Phils. Can't complain. Wish they would have won all 3. Would have gone my hot take. But,
Damn Phillies.
That
take what we can.
that fucking walk off.
That was electric.
I don't know.
Place was
I can
nuts.
feel it in my bones.
Game
and then fireworks after.
game two was a lot too. When we were
Yeah.
all standing together, I was sitting down below with Ken.
So I'll do a little breakdown of both of those.
He's gonna
We obviously
break it down.
already had we had the Wiz bobblehead too. Everybody here got one. Plays black and yellow.
He got 7.5 of them
He
somehow.
Got 9 of them.
I got 6.
Police system.
So yeah, game
Police
one,
system.
down 1 in the 9th.
Oh, we just keep hitting go key.
He'll get there.
Oh man.
Love that.
World Series, I'm telling you, baby. Fucking book it. We're buying tickets. World Series.
Hayes is on base again.
I will do the free roll up if we're in the World Series.
No, you'll do it.
No, you're
anytime.
no, you're gonna do it. You're gonna do it at like a. They're gonna be playing like a shit team, and you're doing it.
So yeah, game one, down 1 in the 9th. Connor Joe singles. They pinch hit Matt for him, McCoy Taylor. You know, just for those at home that don't know who Matt is.
Yeah, some people don't.
Yeah.
He's our new IT guy.
Kutch walks, and then Cruz reaches on a fielder's choice. Now, I wasn't actually watching the game, so I don't know exactly what happened. If you want to elaborate.
Before that, you forgot to mention the double steal with second and that set up second
Which was
and third.
True,
Which was-
And
Yeah.
then Cruz grounded out. So I want to say it was first or second, and they threw it home, and Kutch beat the slide, beat the tag.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So that's how they ended up with second and third in the fielder's choice.
Okay.
And then what? And then Cruz.
It was first and third.
It was first and third when after Cruz because he was on base, and then I believe it was a hit and run play, and he as he was stealing was when they walked it off, if I remember correctly.
Sounds about right.
Anyways, Nicky G clutch, even though he's on the 15-day right now. That kind of sucks, but clutch.
Nicky G is
He's
him.
He's got that clutch gene.
And then game 2, which is when they handed out the whiz bobbleheads, Luis Ortiz completely lights out.
Mm-hmm.
They could not touch him.
I was not expecting that. And he's been really good, but like the Phillies were the best team going into that weekend, and Luis said ad.
Yeah. Kutch homered earlier in the game, and then I believe it.
He
Cruz
nuked
had the
that
two.
ball, too.
Cruz
Yeah,
had the
He
double.
did the Sammy Sosa trot. You ain't even going to talk about
Yeah.
that? But he hit the ball, and he said, skidip, skidip.
He stood there and watched it hit the center field like.
It hit the Ford logo
Yeah.
in the
Ford logo
bullpen.
In the bullpen.
That was a nuke. Cruz doubled that game to knock in another run, and then Cruz also hit the 2-run home run in the 7th or the 8th.
7th.
Yeah.
That place was nuts when he hit that.
Yeah, and then, I mean, Bryce Harper got the best of Bednar.
Yeah.
It happens.
It
Bryce Harper.
was
Yeah, who
coming.
cares?
It was coming. He was doing.
But throughout that game, the Phillies fans were big mad. They were getting abused.
Oh yeah, they weren't.
They were not happy.
They didn't. So I was sitting down. We were all in the same section, and I was sitting a little bit further down than you guys were. So I was surrounded by Phillies fans. This lady square in front of me, every hit that they did, she did like the Eddie Guerrero from the Three Amigos, like every hit. And so finally, then when like Kutch just drilled that ball, I said to Ken, I said, "Yo, watch this," and I fucking stood up behind her and did the same thing. And she was like, "You're gonna get no fight." I said, "Bring them. I'll fight all 10 of them." And then I went up to like where you guys were, and I was like, "I ain't fighting anybody up here."
Talk shit and leave, right?
Yep.
My favorite part of that game was Chapman's 3 strikeouts in the 8th inning. That place was
Yeah.
Yeah,
electric
he
after
blew those balls
that.
by us.
104, yeah,
Yeah.
no thanks.
It was like 104, 103, 102, 104. I was like,
Yeah,
Yeah, we're like, oh,
Jesus.
great, here comes Chapman.
Right.
And then he just
I
sat
called it.
them
I said he's
down.
gonna strike out the side here, and what does he do?
he struck out the third, whoever the third guy was, and just stood on
Well,
the mound. I
best,
was like,
the best was the like he played it, like he let him stand there,
Yeah.
and then he rung him up, and that place went fucking electric.
Yeah,
Honestly,
that was fun.
you were talking about last part about like how you would feel if like you were going into face Mariano Rivera. That's how I would feel going into face Chapman as a lefty. I'd be scared for my life.
I mean, I feel like I would still, I would the same. If you want to just replay the tape on the Rivera one, you just play it again for Chapman because I'm doing the same thing. Like, yeah, it's like it won't change. Like, I'm just saying that, like the atmosphere that surrounds
Oh, yeah.
Rivera.
For sure.
Like he's not throwing 104. He's throwing about high 90s, and you're still shitting yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could add Chapman to that list too.
So then after the Philly series, the Pirates took 2 out of 3 against Cardinals, which should have been a sweep. They lost 2-1, and that was when Skeens came back out for the 9th. I wasn't there for that game, but from on TV, that place sounded.
That was also a Tuesday game. That was a
No, I
Tuesday.
think didn't
That
they
is
say They said that the average attendance throughout those two series was like 31,000
Yeah.
or something like that.
They did 180
For weekday games.
183 or something like that over 6 games.
When Skeens pitched on Tuesday, I looked at the attendance because usually Tuesday games are like 18 to 20. They had 34,000 people there on a Tuesday night.
Yes.
We were talking about earlier today, our last home series is
33.
against the Brewers.
33.
Could you imagine if there's like the division on the line in that series?
Yeah.
What that place is
I
going to
already
be
We'll
like?
be there.
I already requested off for the last game of the year.
He's like, I request off the entire month of September.
Yeah, they're
and
gonna. You know what they're
October."
gonna be chanting? Cueto again. That's what it's gonna be like. It's gonna be that whole situation again.
I think I brought this up before. I don't know if it was actually on the pod, but the Cueto chant stemmed from a series against the Brewers sometime in like it was either like July or August. They were playing. The Brewers had a pitcher named Figaro, and everybody in the crowd started chanting Figaro. That's where that started.
Yeah, but then Cueto just so happened to drop the ball.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I work like game 1 and game 2 of that series, but I made sure that game 3. Well, partially because it's fan appreciation and I love free things.
Because he wins every single one.
No, last year it was me, Court, AJ, Lizzie, and her mom and dad. Her dad got tickets, and we went. We had like real nice seats, and the Pirates it was like they posted on Twitter, and it was like a picture. It was like, "Come find this for a bobblehead" or something like that. It was like a picture or something, and it was the Razor Jolly Roger in the outfield, and me and AJ had seats in like section like 32, and we ran all the way up the bleachers, all the way down, all the way back there, and it was already gone.
Too slow.
You know what it was? It was a Josh Palacios autographed ball because it was like you could find this ball on his famous saying.
Oh, I remember that.
And me and AJ fucking sprinted for it.
And you were winded. You're like, fuck.
Well, yeah, there was probably also people that were standing out there waiting for that.
You're like, oh, there's a ball sitting here? What?
Okay, well, just a few other notes because I am done talking. Gonzalez is out week to week at the moment. They said they don't think he'll miss the entire season, but it is going to be a week-by-week basis. Mlodzinski's on the 15-day with some rain. That sucks because he's been lights out as well. We're thinking Jones is likely going to be back the next time around the rotation. You think that's why Woodford is starting today?
Yeah. I think that would be why he's starting. I mean, Jones threw off the mound again today, and what did you say? They talked about his velocity, and he said like fucking electric.
Fucking electric, yep.
Yeah. But I have a feeling that's why they didn't make any corresponding moves, and they just threw this Woodford guy out there today because I'm fairly confident that Jared Jones will be taking the mound next week for the Pirates.
If he's throwing at his normal speed, he probably just needs another week of bullpen, and he'll be good. And then finally, Griffin and Stanford both signed in the past couple of days.
Thank God.
Griffin signed today for, I think,
6.5.
6.25.
No,
or
6.5.
something
No,
like
6.5.
that.
His slot was 6.25, and he signed at
Yeah.
6.5.
Love that. Can't wait for him to
I
develop.
was happy because the deadline was today to sign.
Sam did his projection for top 30 prospects for the Pirates, and he's clear number 1 over Tamar.
Really? Is that good, huh?
He's supposed to be.
Isn't he like 70 like overall in terms of like whatever?
He's supposed to be
rating?
really
50.
good.
So Sam has Connor Griffin, Tamar, Bubba, Ashcraft, Thomas Harrington, top 5, all ranked 50.
Okay.
And then Nick York, Hunter Barco, Jordani, Xander Muth, and David Matmoa to round out the top 10. But yeah,
I'm here for it.
It's
Here
an
for it,
exciting time to be a Buccos fan. Okay?
It is.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
is.
hey, World Series 2024.
That's the
we've
group
had
chat
that group
name.
chat name for
At
like,
least 3 years
at
now.
least 3 years now.
That's funny.
And you know damn well that I'm doing Tiggs like his podcast, and I'm scrolling all the way back till I made that group chat name.
It's so funny too because, like, earlier this year we were like, "Yeah, well, the window's actually 2025." I was like, "Well, we can't change the group chat name."
It was destiny to remain 2024.
Feels possible.
And then once we sweep the Astros here, anything's possible.
Kevin Garnett.
Legend.
All right, Tiggs, that's about all you got for baseball until playoff time. So thanks for coming.
yeah,
Yeah,
Wanna go into
we
hibernation
have
now?
a certain allotted time, and you used all yours here today. So thanks for coming.
you know, I didn't want to, but I had to.
you didn't have to do anything.
That's not what you said.
I don't remember saying.
Pull up the
anything.
read receipts. All right. So I think there's maybe a little bit in the hockey world, and then I think you guys have some big topics covered between the two of you.
Yeah, I think so.
Like what?
don't know.
Oh no, Zach, let
Something
him
going
know.
on in Paris.
Zach, let him know what's up.
You know who's in Paris right now?
LeBron James.
Livy Dunn.
No, she's on her way home.
She was in Paris.
She
then.
was in Paris. She
Paul
said
Skeens is gonna be starting again, so she got to get back.
Yeah.
he
And
starts.
Paul Skeens is going to be starting for Team USA in the Olympics in 2028.
Yeah,
26.
Sure, 'cause
Yeah,
they're
no
gonna bring
baseball. Isn't baseball coming back?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, baseball's coming back.
So is NHL players too. That's
Yeah,
kinda cool.
thank God.
Yeah. Speaking of NHL, what do you got there for us, the Jimmy?
Just a few topics.
Okay, sweet. Next.
The Hurricanes they're focused on new contracts for both Jarvis and Neckis, but in that time frame, Neckis did sign for 2 years, $13 million. I think it was pretty important once they lost Jake to get him re-signed.
Yeah. I'd say so.
Dean Everson.
Yep, Everson. Yep.
He was named Blue Jackets head coach. He was the former head coach for 5 seasons
Nice
for the
knowing you,
Wild.
buddy.
They also re-signed Marchenko and Kent Johnson. I just feel like the Blue Jackets are in like this, like
The
they're.
poverty of the NHL.
It's not even poverty. Like they're just in purgatory. Like they can't seem to find like any type of long-term solution to any type of position.
Except Boone Jenner.
I would say Werenski maybe,
Yeah, but he was hurt.
and he's always hurt.
I think it's time that you just move them
I
out of
would.
Columbus.
They should move Warren's kid.
Yeah, because-
No, Astros gonna
the
be
whole
pissed.
team. Like
No,
ship
just the
team
whole
elsewhere.
team got
I
to
don't think they're going to do 2 moves in like 5
No,
I
seconds.
don't
but
think
like
so
in the next
either,
5 years.
But like
that's not a good sign for good league.
like the fan base just isn't engaged. The team, like it almost is like the GMs just aren't there. At least in Buffalo, who changes like their turnover rate's probably higher than any other company in the world right now. But like at least they're trying. Like they have young guys that are really good that just need to develop. Like you have Darlene, you have Bo there now, you have Power on the back. Like their defense is going to be really good in probably like 2 to 3 years.
The Blue Jackets are kind of the White Sox of the
Yeah.
NHL.
Or the Marlins. Like they just suck, and they suck every year.
Except for like 1 or 2 years, they'll be like semi-competitive.
The 1 year where
and
they
then
had
they'll fade
Bobrovsky.
into
Yeah.
nothingness.
And then the Penguins beat them.
Yeah. Faber got re-signed 8 years, $68 million. I don't think
that's an overpay.
it doesn't start though until 2025 or 26. So
Okay.
it's a little while.
So it's more like
An extension.
10
It's
or
an
11
extension.
Mm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it's pretty much. I mean, he had the most points by a Wild rookie defenseman ever
That's
last year.
8.5 a year.
Yeah,
I think that's a lot.
that's a lot.
I think in 2 years, if he keeps growing at the rate that he's growing
It might
and
be a steal
developing,
at that point.
it's going to be a much better deal. I just think
Or if he sucks.
I think right now, when you sign a rookie for that much, you're like, holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess if
Um,
you're kind of anticipating that the cap's going to move up by the time.
Yeah, I
He
mean, Cap
gets
is going
there.
to move up
I'm
every
a big
year.
fan of his. I think he's like a good young player. I think next year and the year after will be a telltale sign of whether this is a really good deal or if this deal is absolute ass.
That's what you're going to see from Buffalo, too.
Right. And then Stan Bowman was hired as the GM of the Oilers. I don't know how I feel about that. I also don't know why you're firing your GM.
After you just made the cup.
You made it to Game 7 within 1 goal.
Correct. You were down 3-0, and you're just like, you're GM. See you later.
Right. You're like, well, you did really
Meanwhile,
good.
it took Hextall how long to get fucking canned?
Yeah.
That doesn't make
So-
sense.
Moving on, we are moving to the Olympics.
Oh, say, can you see?
At least it's not Avi playing
Take off your hat.
Canada.
Nick.
Sorry, didn't know we were.
Yeah,
Um,
free bird.
You didn't stand up.
Neither did Dill.
So
At least he took off his hat.
opening ceremonies were Friday. We actually watched
Yo, it's her
them in
103rd
our
birthday.
hotel.
Happy birthday, Mary.
Happy birthday, Mary.
We watched the opening ceremonies from the hotel in Cleveland. It was absolutely pouring.
Yeah, it was pissing.
It was pouring. But Team USA's flag bearer, it was LeBron.
Captain America.
LeBron
So-
James.
That's voted on by your fellow Olympians, but he's also the first ever basketball player to be the flag bearer. I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, when you think of like some of the basketball players that we've sent to the
94
Olympics,
Dream Team.
Yeah.
yeah,
Kobe.
right.
He was on 94 Dream Team.
I know, but
yeah.
I'm just saying in general.
You're talking about '92 Dream Team.
Yeah, that's what I said.
So just some stories to follow as we're going through the next few weeks here. Simone Biles' return. If you haven't had a chance to watch Netflix has a documentary on her. It's called Rising. It's about how she dropped out of the Olympics the last time she was there due to what's called a case of the twisties. I'm not a gymnast. I will never be a gymnast.
Sounds awful.
Yeah, it's basically when you get lost in midair. Like you don't know where the ground is.
Oh, so it's like, what do they call that in baseball?
Can't see the ball.
It's like writer's block for writers.
Yeah, no, but there's like a name for it for baseball, like
Slump.
especially
That
for pitch.
that
Well, I
happened
guess
to
like
me.
the yips.
That happened
Yeah.
to me once.
I guess it would be the golf yips. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
happened to me once.
The twisties.
Yeah,
He got the
Right.
I did.
Zach's doing a back handspring, just lost.
In our championship game when I got hit in the mask twice.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know what.
You
the
were
fuck
seeing
was going
Tweety
on.
Bird.
I was.
He was seeing God. He was.
No, that's called a concussion. That's not like the yips.
I had the yips last week when we played golf. Ugh.
Yeah, but it talks
There
about
wasn't
like
a pond nearby, or my fucking golf bag was going in.
she like details what it was like, how the national media pretty much like called her a quitter and things like that when they had no idea what she was going through. As an advocate for mental health, I think that it's very important to take things seriously when people say it and not to just openly say stupid shit if you have no idea what they're going through. But she has returned, and she is absolutely pounding the competition in every fucking area.
She's okay.
She's the best gymnast in the world. She actually today's, before we set all this up, Zach and I were talking. She is one of the most decorated, if not the most decorated, women's U.S. gymnasts of all time.
Should we get her on the pod? Do you think we can make that happen?
Right.
Yeah. Let me just DM her.
Yeah. Hey,
Actually answers.
hey, shoot her,
You
shoot. Shoot her, shoot.
Hey guys, actually got a guest for our next podcast. Can't tell you who it is.
Right. The U.S. women's team won gold, I believe it was yesterday, in the all-arounds. So she's in a few more events. I think she has 4 more events. So right now she's at 8 total medals. She can get up to 12 by the time this Olympics ends. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is her last Olympics ever. So
She's what, 30?
no, she's 20. She's 27.
Yeah.
So she would be 31 next Olympics.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, what did
probably
you do
not.
by the time you were 27?
I am
We're-
27.
We're sitting here.
Exactly.
I got Joe Klimchak on the podcast.
That was after you were 27.
And Corey got a heart transplant. He's only 26.
That's true.
What'd you do at 27? Shoot
I'm here.
140 at Butler's.
Hit 6 home runs in the Youth Guys Home Run Derby.
Did you not wear a hat today?
Huh?
Did you not wear a hat today?
Yeah, he
No, I
did.
did.
Take your hat off. Let's see the
How
burn.
do you get
Ugh.
How do you get sunglass, like sunburn with a hat
Absolute
on?
caked right here. Poof.
That's impressive.
Instead of having a fade in the side of his hair, he has a fade on the side of his head from the sunglasses.
Interesting.
Next, the track and field hasn't started yet, but storyline to watch. Cano allows clinch double golds. I really think he has a really, really good chance to. Is Sha'Carri Richardson the fastest in the world?
Yeah.
Again, I think she is going to win gold. I really
Is
hope
she
she does.
faster than Usain Bolt?
No.
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 The only person trying to touch Usain Bolt right now is Noah Lyles. Like, he's openly said, I'm trying to touch his world record, which good fucking luck.
What
because
in the 100 meter or what?
Yeah.
Which is what, like
It's fast.
eight fast.
It's not slow.
It is not slow. And then,
This one.
can anyone beat Katie Ledecky?
No.
I mean,
No.
she is.
Maybe a fucking shark.
I don't even think they have a chance. So she won her. This was a few days ago. She won her 1500 meter heat by 17 seconds. That's unheard of.
That's got to be what, like a full lap?
No, it's
No,
probably like
half.
It's probably half. I was
Half a
Normally, a 50 meter sprint is like 31 seconds, or her average is 31
Okay.
seconds. So it's a little bit less than a half.
Okay.
I was watching her today compete for the gold in the 1500 meters. They were talking about how many miles she has swam in her entire career. It's 23,291
miles.
miles, which is insane.
How much was it again? 23,000?
Yeah.
I don't even have that in my car in 2.5 years.
Yeah, that's literally what they said. They said people don't even have these types of miles on their cars. She
That's
has them in a
unreal.
pool beating the shit out of people.
Just in a pool.
Yeah. And
Doesn't include practice.
I was going to say, that doesn't include
That's
practice.
just
no,
competi-
it is. It's practice too.
Oh.
But still.
Still.
And then she so she won gold today in the 1500 meter. She also now owns the top 20 times in history for the 1500 meter freestyle.
Can she like
She
play
finished
fair? Like can anyone
so
else like
she's also 27. She finished
Hmm.
today. There wasn't another
Golden
person in the picture
I
frame.
saw that. There was like no one even close.
No one close.
No one close.
I was watching it. I think they were right around 1200 meters, and the announcers were talking about her. She was like a half of pool in front of somebody.
That's good.
Add her to the list of people. If I lined like Cole, the guy who I shared an office with, he was like, "Was anybody even close?" I said, "Yeah, on the starting blocks," and that's it.
Can I just tell you how far it is from the Atlantic coast to the Pacific coast?
Yeah.
3,700 miles. This bitch swam it 7 times. 7 times.
1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She'd be somewhere in Cali.
No, Atlantic, buddy. That's Pacific.
You said Atlantic to where?
You said the Atlantic to the Pacific.
Oh,
That means
Atlantic
you're going
to
around the
overseas.
entire world.
No, overseas.
Oh, yeah. You said
Somebody
Atlantic to
tried
Pacific.
to do it in 1998 to raise money for. It says
To swim?
Shout
long.
out Ben Lamonte.
Ben Ledecky.
Oh, I saw him when I was in Myrtle Beach. We were in the ocean, and some guy just comes swimming by us.
Must have
and
been
we're like,
him.
Where is he going?
In
On
1998.
July 16, 1998, at 3:30 p.m., he set out on an 80-day swim from Massachusetts across the Atlantic Ocean to raise funds for cancer research.
Did he ever come back?
He arrived in France approximately 80 days later
Okay.
and 3,700 miles later.
So she did that 7 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She put Ben to shame.
She's
Slight work.
How the fuck do you swim across the fucking ocean? You look down and you don't see dick. Buddy, I go out like 5 fucking feet in the ocean and I can't see my feet.
He's like,
He's like, I go to the pool in the backyard.
And this dude swam all the way across the ocean.
hey,
It's like
I can't swim, so I wouldn't know.
Neither could I.
it's honestly like
That's crazy.
when you watch the Olympics on TV, you think to yourself like,
I
oh,
can do that.
I
Oh,
don't
her-
think that actually.
80 days in the fucking water, bro. That's nuts.
No, they
Shut up,
said-
Ben.
They said
Ben,
imagine.
Ben should go on the Olympic team.
Imagine
This dude has a gas tank on him. You talk about like UFC fighters having a gas tank.
He's still going.
Dude, that ain't crazy to you?
Yes,
80
it
days, 3,700 miles. This dude swam from Massachusetts to France.
I saw on Twitter they said imagine.
And people can't do that from Cuba to Florida. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy.
They said imagine you're the person like halfway through the pole and you look to your left and Katie Lenocky's already going this.
See fucking cruise ships cruising right by you. Carnival cruise ship. And it's just Ben Lickmont over the fucking middle of the ocean. How did this dude not get in?
Can we get him to meet him? I mean, my God. Number 1 fan over here. Is this guy even alive?
He made it across.
I meant now.
I guess my question
That's crazy. I can't
Is-
wrap my head around that.
could you imagine you train your entire life? Like some of these people train
And
their
you'll still
entire
never
life.
beat Ben across the Atlantic Ocean.
Like you train your entire life.
Isn't there better ways to raise money for cancer than swimming across the ocean?
Yeah, the V Foundation.
That's fucking crazy.
Like you train
Shout
your
out Ben. He's a
entire
real one.
your entire life. Your entire life. You get to the block, they say ready, set, go, and you're getting absolutely smoked in the first minute.
Do you think whenever they announce the heats or whatever, like you look, you go, Katie Ledecky's right there. You go, I'm not even trying.
So like
Do
they
you
put
think that Ben
Here
could
we-
swim longer than Michael Phelps?
no. Well, yeah, because Phelps was a sprinter. He's not a long distance. But yeah, I mean Katie Ledecky is, when you really think about Olympic swimmers, like you have to. She's now in the same conversation as Phelps.
Yeah.
Like Phelps
saying
is
that
regarded
earlier.
as probably the greatest U.S. Olympian of all time. She is damn close to him. I don't know if she passes him because of what he has done, but he was talking.
You talking about Ben?
Yeah, he was talking today on the broadcast after she won, talking about like the training that she goes through, and like she trains down in the University of Florida. Like I just think watching her, you're watching somebody that you in a lifetime will probably never see again. You're never gonna see somebody dominate the same way that her or Simone Biles, for that matter, is dominating their sections of the Olympics.
Nobody will ever be a better Olympian than
Than
the
Ben.
Captain America.
My next talking point is back to the track field. It's will Valerie Allman break her own record?
Yes.
I think she will. She's going to throw the discus further than anybody else has. She's done it her entire life, and I don't think it's going to change now.
She could probably throw a discus farther than I can throw a baseball.
I think we should get her in the backyard of Zach's house and see how far she could throw the discus to
Through
hit,
his window.
to hit my house. And And then my last point is there is a 200-meter breaststroker from Upper St. Clair. His name's Josh Matheny. I don't know how he's done so far. I don't even know if he's raced yet.
Yeah,
But
he came in 7th.
did he?
7th this
Was
morning.
it today?
Yeah, this
Oh,
morning.
it was today.
Yeah,
'Cause,
so this morning he was.
yeah,
Which
but
is pretty fucking good.
I mean,
I would think so.
I think so.
I would take 7th in the Olympics.
So congratulations to him. I think it's impressive regardless.
The TV when people come in last place.
But
What?
all right, so Zach did game night.
Was that a holy Bible?
No, it's my note sections, bitch. Where do you think I keep all my notes at? My head?
Looks like a Bible to me.
What was I gonna say?
We're gonna blind rank
Oh.
summer U.S. Olympians.
How about the U.S. coming in last in shooting? What was up with that?
Hold on.
That's because they didn't have Austin Bauer on there. Wait, you had Austin Bauer shooting. He ain't missing shit.
Did you see the? I want to say she's from China.
No, the Korean lady.
Is it the Korean?
Yeah, that
I
looks
don't
like
know.
she's like a splinter. So
She stood there, won, no motion. It was like nothing. They were like, "This is the next John Wick." Like,
Yeah, she's an assassin.
that was the guy from Turkey
No,
who literally
Turkey-
looked like
no,
a hitman.
it was a woman.
No, there was a guy from Turkey
I
that
didn't see
literally
him.
looked like a hitman.
He's 51, no glasses, no ears, and he's like this.
He's
No
just like,
ears?
What?
You got no ears? Oh,
No
no,
ear
had
for-
no.
no.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, sorry.
I
that
thought
was,
he had no
that
ears.
Was, that was on me.
She
I
looked
couldn't
like
find the
the
tweet.
girl from Korea or China, wherever.
She was from
the guy.
China.
Yeah.
She
I think
had.
just turkey-
Did you see her
turkey-
glasses? She looked
Yeah.
like Junie Cortez from the fucking Spy Kids, lighting up the field to win gold, and she got no motion on her.
Yeah, the 4 fans in the back went fucking absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
There it is. There it is.
This guy,
Bro, like,
he got the silver medal. This man got the silver medal.
That's crazy.
what the fuck is he doing, bro?
Yep, just Little League, Little League, Little League.
Both fucking runs are because of Cruz. Why are you going all the way out to the warning track to catch a fucking ball?
That's what he does every time, and it irritates the fuck out of me.
All right, well, here it comes, guys. We're gonna do
Blind?
blind rankings of U.S. Olympians.
Okay.
There's 5.
We
So-
do this as a group?
Yeah, you're doing it
What
as
are
a
we
group, and then
ranking?
Olympians.
you're
Oh,
Summer
so
summer
it's like-
Olympians.
like top 5.
Yeah.
Okay. He came all
But
the way
it-
from fucking second base.
But it's blind rankings.
It literally hit
Idiot.
Reynolds in the chest.
All right, are we ready?
Reynolds gotta be
Yeah.
pissed.
I'll send you these, and then you can.
Yeah, yeah.
Accordingly.
Me? Why? Steve, man.
Yeah, well, just let Steve know.
What you? I'll tell Steve. Keep an eye out, okay?
All right, so the first summer Olympian that I'm going to give you,
Wait, how many are there? 10 or 5?
5.
5. Oh, okay.
He won 28 years ago today. He won a gold medal with a broken frickin' neck. Kurt
Kurt
Angle.
Angle.
Ooh. I mean, that's like.
Is this everybody rankings?
Yeah, yeah,
Like
it's a
we're-
group.
it's a
Well,
group.
not me, obviously, but
I feel like he's got to go like 3.
I was going to go 3.
I was
So
gonna-
right down the center.
3. We'll go 3.
okay.
Kurt Angle down the middle.
Number 2, Walsh Jennings and Misty May Trainer.
Ooh, that's tough.
Those are the. I didn't
Beach
even know who those
volleyball,
Yeah.
were. Mm.
like
Oh.
like when we were growing up, like the people that would just crush beach volleyball.
I mean, they're kind of goaded,
Two?
but
You
I don't
gotta go
know. They
2.
can't go
You-
2 or 1.
You got to go 2.
You gotta
You
go
got to think
2.
of everybody else in the U.S. Summer Olympics.
There are so many Olympians. I feel
Mm.
like 2's not.
You got to
wanna-
go 2. You can't put them behind Kurt Angle.
I gotta go 2.
Sick.
I feel like we're gonna regret that, but
That's okay.
if
It's
you
why
guys
they're blind
want to, if
ranking.
you guys want
2.
All right,
Lock it in.
Olympians number 3, the 1992 Dream Team.
1.
1.
over Michael Phelps. I
Well,
mean,
you don't-
I know it's not guaranteed.
You
but
don't
I
know
feel
if
like
Michael Phelps is coming.
1.
1.
If you know me, you have no idea if Michael Phelps is coming.
1. You can't put them fucking at 4.
Michael Phelps is next.
You're
Michael
telling me that Michael Phelps is better than the Dream Team?
Yeah, Michael Phelps is kind of the greatest Olympian of all time, Dylan.
All right, number 4 is Michael Phelps.
Then 4.
4. Might as well burn that jersey too.
Oh my God!
4.
All right, ready for 5?
I guess Michael Phelps is number 4. Thanks, Dill.
All right,
I
we-
listen to you. I didn't listen to you. I
It
didn't
was
have a
a-
choice.
They're good.
All right, we ready for 5?
Yep.
Simone Biles.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was 5.
Do you
Yeah, I
want?
feel like that was fixed.
Do you want
Some
to?
great rankings, guys.
Do you want to reorganize?
I mean, yeah.
They don't deserve the right.
Well, no,
Michael
no.
Phelps
That
is.
like that's the official list that you guys decided on. But I'm saying now that you've heard the list, do you want to reorganize?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
what do you think it should be?
Dream Team first.
We'll go number 5.
So
Kurt
here's
Angle.
here was the rankings that I had when I wrote this list out.
Well, you do the list. That ain't fair.
Yeah, you
It
did.
was my fucking game.
Yeah, but you okay.
No,
fine.
I read a bunch of Olympians and then I blindly ranked them, and then I wrote an order of which I was going to give them to you guys. So I had Phelps as 1. I had Dream Team as 2. What the Dream Team meant to U.S. basketball, especially in the 90s.
Yeah, it wasn't just like.
Right. I had Simone Biles at 3. I had Kurt Angle at 4, and then I had Walsh Jennings and Misty May at 5. And the only reason I had Kurt Angle ahead of them is because of how hard it is to win a wrestling U.S. medal
With a broken
neck and
and
his trainer died.
and he had to probably wrestle a bunch of Russians too, and they wrestle grizzly bears.
they did back in the day.
I'm not saying that Misty May trainer and
And he was the
Walsh
WWE
Jennings
champion.
were bad in any way. They weren't. They were the best at their sport.
I think we were close.
Yeah, I think you guys were close. I think Phelps at 4 was a little bit of a hot take, but
That's what we do.
Hot
We're
take brought to you by Dylan and Doom.
You suck.
hot take
You
brought to you by
suck.
Dylan's Fruit Loop.
You suck.
Fruit Loop.
You
fruit,
suck.
fruit roll up.
Yeah, whatever.
Fruit by the foot.
Well, it doesn't matter. You're gonna win anyways.
But
Yeah, that was all I had. Thanks
How-
for participating
yeah.
in the game.
I'm kind of excited for next week's.
Dill's taking the WWE Championship belt and wearing it around his waist.
For the fruit by the foot.
Yeah, the fruit roll-up
Yeah.
challenge.
Bringing the United States Championship.
I should have worn that tonight.
For what?
The Olympics. Kurt Angle, WWE Championship.
We went with the
Is it
Pirates
in the
theme.
garage? Go bring it out.
Yeah, go grab it.
Go
We went-
grab it.
For your
Whoops.
segment.
Too late now.
We'll bring them out
Yeah,
when we
it's
talk.
late. This pause is brought to you by
WWE.
Surfsides.
Hashtag not an ad. But if you want to be, you can be.
But not underage. We don't support that.
And we're back.
All right. Well, thanks for participating in the game, Dill, Steve. I'll make sure you get all the
Send that to
information.
Steve. I don't want to know. I got too much shit to do.
All right, I'll send that to you, Steve.
Thanks.
All right, Dill. Now it's
All
your
right,
turn.
Wrap up the Olympics here, buddy.
First, we got to talk about the NFL.
Oh, you know you still covered that.
Yeah, I mean, spring training started.
You shut that door.
Spring training.
Spring training started.
I hope tomorrow makes the roster.
Speaking of spring training.
He's done.
No, it was.
Speaking of spring training.
What about spring training?
I don't know.
He's excited for Pirates Fest.
Yeah, I'm real excited for Pirates Fest. Real excited for Cruz to fucking quit trying to play left field.
Training camp.
He's
is
gonna
start-
make up for it.
Yeah, let's go. You know what? Hey.
You got this, Dill.
Yeah, I know.
Look
Dylan,
around.
how about the guy that swam across the Atlantic, though? Can we just talk about that?
That's crazy. Are you done?
Training camp has started.
Yes, it has.
Yes, and there was a brawl today,
There was.
but I'm not going to cover that.
I love that.
But there might be some content. I think we're going to try and go one day, maybe
August 11th.
August 11th. Oh, we have a date now.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, okay.
We may be on field, so keep a
Maybe?
lookout. Maybe. I don't know. I gotta
I'm giving you
I
one
gotta have our people talk to their people. There ain't no fucking.
I got to
freebies here,
face
buddy.
TJ Watt.
freebies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's no
you're
fucking
literally on
freebie.
field. Like,
I don't want to do that.
I'll do it.
Fucking, right tackle.
I ain't facing TJ Watt. No thanks.
Yeah, until right tackle gets hurt and they're looking at us and they're like, anyone want to come participate?
Sign me to the minimum, coach.
So yeah, that'll be fun.
I'd be there.
Roman
Might not
Wilson sprained his ankle. Only out a few weeks. He got carted off. Was that yesterday?
Yeah.
Yesterday we were all worried, but he'll be out for a few weeks. But he said he will be back in time for the opener, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
And the only real signing was that DJ Moore signed an extension, 4 years, $110 million. That makes him the fourth highest paid wide receiver in
That
the league.
means
now.
Keenan Allen's gone after this year.
He was never more than a year rental.
So that's fun.
Speaking of Steelers football, I think we're going to the game next Friday too.
I forgot that was next Friday. Holy shit! What is life, guys? If someone can tell me what life is,
Bro,
Yeah.
could you imagine how long 80 days is if you don't have a watch on?
you know he like had a team there, right? You know he just didn't do it by himself.
Oh shit! Wasn't just him and fucking Finding Nemo over there in the ocean.
It was.
Could have been.
He thought he was swimming at nighttime
He was
with
with
no
Shamu.
no lights.
Could you imagine? He just like turned around and he's like, I ended on the shore, but it was of Massachusetts and not France. Anyways,
You know who did that? Christopher Columbus. He thought he was going to India, but he ended up in America.
and look, we're here now.
One of the greatest Americans of all time. My guy, Christopher Columbus. Number 1, Christopher Columbus. Number 2, Ben LeCmonte. And at number 3, Michael.
Well, the Open was 2 weeks ago, and Xander Schauffele won his second major with the final round 65.
I almost shot a 65 today.
Yeah, you wish you shot
Me
a
too.
fucking 65. You shot a 65 on the front, probably.
I did not. I didn't keep score though. So
We're on hole like 11. I'm like, Tiggs, you keeping score? He goes, no, I didn't think you were. I was like, buddy, I got it on my phone.
So this year in the 4 majors, he has finished 8th in the Masters. Pretty good. Won the PGA Championship.
Average.
Pretty good. Tied for 7th at the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
And
I
then
did
he
that once.
won the Open.
I did that once too.
Yeah, so winning 2 majors, and then we'll talk about. He might come up later in the pod. I'm not sure. It depends on if it was written down or not.
Oh.
What? Oh,
No,
what?
keep going.
Yeah. Oh, you okay?
No, just keep going.
Oh, okay. My question to you is the course that they play in the Open. I forget what it was called, literally. In England, would you play when it's 60, cloudy, raining, and 15-mile-an-hour winds? Would you even play?
Yes, because that's the only time I'm gonna golf now after today.
After today.
Why do you say that? Are you busy the rest of the next 6
No,
months?
Tiggs
No.
After last week and then this week, played a fucking 5.5 hour round both times.
I looked at him. I was like, I'm not playing till October again. I'm not dealing with this.
I would play in that because we played in that at Butler's earlier this year.
Did you?
Yeah,
you were there.
the very first time
Remember
I
we
ever
got
went.
kicked off of Woodside.
No, we were supposed to do lakes. We were supposed to. We
No,
were
they
supposed
put us
to.
on Woodside.
Did it
Yeah.
rain that day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you remember my first ball? It almost hit the fucking highway.
Yeah, but we didn't play in the rain.
No, but it rained. Like,
rained. It
all
was a
that
little muddy.
morning.
Yes, it was like a swamp. That's right.
That was
there.
on hole 18 where I had to hit it from that across the street into the neighbor's yard.
Across the street.
Yeah,
into
don't
the
you remember?
neighbor yard.
My ball hooked to the right.
Oh, that's right.
And
where,
then
yeah, where that dump truck almost
The
hit
dump
you.
truck hit it, carried it about another 50 meters, and then I set up
Bro.
a tee in that person's
And then
front
we're like-
lawn and just piped it back.
We're
Just
like-
chunk somebody's front grass.
No, I hit my 3. It landed on the fairway.
We literally said to James, just throw it over. He goes, nope, whack. So I wouldn't play in it. I literally hate playing in 60-degree weather, in rain, and in wind.
I
So
love
that's
playing in 60-degree weather.
absolutely not. You can't feel my hands.
Yeah, it's because you can't get your fade on your sunglasses.
I wear the sunglasses year round, no matter what
That was
temperature
a
it is.
dish to Tiggs, not you.
Oh my god, he has eyes.
Camera didn't see it.
Never seen before. What if he just took off his glasses and he was like,
There are no eyes.
Just the Undertaker.
We are going to talk about the Olympics. And
Woo!
thanks for Zach for bringing out the
The Corey
United States
Jones
champion
United
belt.
States Championship belt.
Also
Memorial.
also known as the Screaming Eagles
Warrior of the game?
Warrior of the Game. Yeah,
Maybe.
never-
I don't remember what
it
it's called
changes
anymore.
every game.
It's retired now.
Is it retired?
Yeah. It's in
Why?
the rafters.
It's on the table.
I won player of the game one time, gave the most electric interview, and then I've never won it since.
Yeah. But we're talking about beach volleyball.
Weird
Men
plug.
lost 2-0 against Cuba. We were there. In
Well, we
Paris,
weren't.
fans.
We were not there. We were in the hotel lobby,
eating breakfast.
smashing a bagel.
Smashing the,
some
what
omelets.
did I have? I had Lucky
Some
Charms that day.
bacon.
That was good food.
That's
But
where's
then-
the part where you say what?
What?
An omelet,
And
What?
Cheerios.
some bacon,
What?
some potatoes,
What?
4 glasses of orange juice.
What?
Did you really
bagel.
have 4?
What?
Yeah, I was thirsty.
He didn't
I
have an
did-
omelet, though.
Did they
There
have
were
one?
no
I did.
omelets.
Yeah, there were.
Were there really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't.
Did they have any pastries?
Yes.
Yes.
I
There
Yeah,
were.
they
had-
did.
Maybe
Yeah,
I didn't
they
get
had
one.
Danishes.
Pastries slap.
I had Lucky Charms. Anyways, the U.S. men beat the damn Canadians 2-0, so they are now 1-1 in
Okay,
the
they-
group pool.
Then
Mhm.
maybe they can't come home then.
And then they play Spain on Friday.
Yeah.
Friday when we're not when the pod comes out, but the Friday that right now. Doesn't matter. We're talking about basketball because everyone's favorite sport is basketball here, right? Right.
Yeah,
I'm a big basketball guy.
They beat Serbia 110-84.
that's pretty good.
LeBron
Mhm.
James had
LeBron
21.
James.
Durant 23, and then Nikolai had 20, and he was the only player on Serbia to have 15 plus points.
Yeah, that's
good.
because their entire team, besides him, is pretty much
Yes.
booty cheeks.
But winning wasn't the big title in the news. It was Halliburton and Tatum did not play a single minute. They
I
played
was pissing myself at
zero.
the Tatum memes about him being the
Zero.
water boy.
Did you see who played 0 minutes today? Embiid. Yep, played 0 minutes.
No, he played 7.
He played 0.
No, I don't think he played today.
No, they took him out of the starting lineup, and he played 0 minutes.
We'll have Steve fact check that in a little bit.
Steve Kerr came out and he was like, I feel bad not playing them.
Yeah, because they're the greatest players in the fucking universe.
Yeah, but if you're smoking, like they've played 2 teams that, no offense, really are not going to put up numbers
like
against
exhibition games.
Yeah, like if we play, like Spain has a really good team, Canada has a really young and good team this year. Like when you play those guys, like those dudes are playing.
Remember when Spain had the Gasol brothers?
Yeah, it used to. I will never. One of the greatest U.S. basketball moments ever is the Redeem team when Kobe said, "I'm running through his chest," and ran square through Pau Gasol.
It was 0. Yeah, Joel Embiid did play 0 minutes.
I played 0 minutes.
Tyrese Halliburton went from 0 to 7. I mean, that's an improvement, right? And then where else? What was that other guy's name?
I
Tatum.
wonder if Dante Exum's playing for Australia.
I'm not even going to say it. He was
Jason-
goated back in like NBA 2K16.
Yeah, when he was your arch rival in my
fuck that
career.
Jason Tatum went from 0 minutes to 17 minutes. Today they played South Sudan. I watched the game. Hyped, real hyped. There was a lot of electric. I'm just bullshitting you. It was the most boring basketball game I think I've ever watched.
Okay.
You know what I was watching instead? Katie Ledecky win by whole pool
Yeah.
length.
I was telling him about, I was dying at that picture of Victor Wembanyama standing next to the Japanese dude.
he
who
was like
half
literally.
his
He
height.
was a full 2 feet taller.
You know what
That's
else?
crazy.
You know what else that looks like? Bryce Young standing next to his O line. So
Yeah. No, Kyler. That's correct, Kyler.
Kyler can't see over his offensive
Yeah.
line.
But
he's
they
like the
beat-
kids that are
Okay.
just like,
Motherfucker.
good.
They beat South Sudan 103 to 86.
Well, I'm glad we were able to beat South Sudan.
They did not cover the spread though because it was 29.5.
Is South Sudan the team that Luau Deng like funds and coaches?
Probably.
I think it is.
I don't know.
So
But-
Luau,
I mean, if they're good enough to get to the Olympics,
so
I'm
Luau
sure
Deng,
there's
he
some
he
involvement.
funds them and sponsors them all from his NBA winnings.
That's good.
That's cool.
It's an investment.
Who is it that was it Flavor Flav's sponsoring the
Flavor
women's water
Flav.
polo team?
I think it is.
Remember when
Flavor
Flavor Flav was on Raw?
Yes.
Yeah.
With the giant clock.
Yep.
And then the boogeyman took
They
it and
said if
used it
they
every
win
week.
gold medals, he has to get them like big clocks to
Yes.
wear with them.
The leading scorer today for the U.S. was Bam Adebayo, 18 points. It was a good team effort.
I don't like him.
Me either.
I love Bam.
And then the leading scorer for the game was Nooni Omet. He had 24 points for South Sudan. I say bring him over
yeah,
and ship and beat. We'll do
trade him.
We'll trade him. Yeah.
One of their guys, he was in the post, and Anthony Davis turned and literally drilled him with an elbow, and
I saw that.
I
yeah.
think the kid thought he got shot because he was on the ground in just straight pain.
I thought like he got seriously injured. And,
It looked like, and it was like a pretty harmless. He literally just, I mean, Davis is pretty big, and he just turned right into
Surprised he
him.
didn't get hurt.
Yeah, I'm surprised he
Davis?
didn't.
Yeah, usually.
he probably like.
You know what I watched
Sprained
yesterday
his toe.
was the 3v3 women's basketball.
I was watching the men's today. Jimmer Fredette was playing.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Jimmer Fredette's on the 3v3 team.
I love that.
They lost, but
So USA also lost, but it's a 12-second shot clock.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's, as soon as you get the rebound, as soon as you touch the ball, the 12 seconds turns, and you have to take it out no matter if it hits the rim, it's
to-
the
Yeah.
backboard, no matter
three-point,
what.
Yep.
I don't like that.
What's
I
good
think
thing
it
is,
needs
is
too much.
Angel Reese on that team?
No, Haley
Thank
Van
God.
Haley Van Lith is.
Yeah.
She's on the 3v3 team?
Yeah.
And no one told me to watch this
I
game?
did yesterday, motherfucker.
You just said Van Liff. I
Yeah.
don't know what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
What other Van Lith do you know?
None, but
Well,
I
their
didn't. I
sport
thought you were
was
talking
be
about something
playing.
else. I didn't know she was playing.
Yeah, she took your girl spot.
Who?
No, Cameron Brink was on that team. Cameron Brink was on that team, or supposed to be on that team with Van Lith, and then
She got injured.
and so then they removed her,
Yeah.
and I can't remember who they put on.
Imagine Cameron Brink on that team. Just
I don't know. Caitlin Clark should have been on that team. Maybe she just.
that would be
decided not to
nasty.
play.
Caitlin Clark,
She-
Van Lith, and
She
Brink.
should have been on the U.S. team, and I think that like they came out and said that they're trying to have a competitive team. I don't understand why you're not putting Caitlin Clark.
WNBA probably told them no.
Right. They were like, nah.
Well, we're good. We're gonna pass.
Anyways, that's all we have for the Olympics. They just started. Now we're really starting to ramp it up. Some more to come. Maybe we'll have the belt here from now on.
I've thoroughly enjoyed the Olympics so far. There's always something to watch.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think earlier, I don't know what it is right now, but the U.S. was the leading country in medal count.
We still are, just
Still are.
not in gold.
No, overall.
I was gonna say,
Japan,
we have the
I
overall.
think Japan or
Total.
China are leading in golds right now.
Nice. But hey, If you're not first,
But like
you're
you said,
last.
the track hasn't started yet.
Yeah,
so.
track hasn't started. Wait till that. Jamaica's be climbing up those rankings real fucking quick.
So yeah, I guess we'll finish up here with UFC not Olympic related.
No.
Could you imagine? Like they should do that. UFC like MMA in the Olympics.
That'd be sick.
That'd be. I think I said that last pod.
That would
That'd
be sweet.
I think it will be, honestly. Like, it's not 2028, but maybe the year after. Because, I mean, this
They
is...
got fucking breakdancing, and you can't have MMA.
There's nothing wrong with breakdancing. Those
Bro,
are some
Brazil and the
athletes.
U.S. would be Brazil, U.S. and Russia would be going at it.
Brazil would be pretty good at MMA, I think.
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
it would literally be Brazil,
U.S.
U.S. and Russia.
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
Anyways,
Anyways.
speaking of UFC,
What about UFC?
so 304 was this past weekend. Tiggs, I know you were working, you didn't watch it, but the three of us watched it.
You know who wasn't
some
watching
of us
it?
fell
This
asleep.
guy, because his lights were... Or his
Oh,
eyes
well,
were
hold on.
closed.
Well, I
I
caught the
have-
main event.
I have such a good strategy for these UFC cards now that I'm getting into it.
Yeah, he just
So-
goes, "Wake me up when Lesser."
No, I watch the prelims. I fall asleep for the first two fights of the main card because they're
Yeah.
and then I am buzzing
You
for
were
the last
sawing
three.
logs, dude. You were out. It was so
Yeah, until
funny.
Patty fought.
Yeah, that's the only one you really need to see.
So there was 7 straight decisions on this card, and I typically watch the post-fight conference only for Dana, and then once Dana's off, I usually fall asleep because it's late at night. There were 7 straight decisions. Dana White says there's going to be no more extra incentive for fight of the night bonus because no one looked like they wanted to fight. So it's a extra $100K for fight of the night bonus, and 7 decisions. He was just like, yeah, just no one looked like they wanted that extra $100K. So we're going to highlight some fights here on the undercard. So Muhammad Makaev wins via decision against Manal Kape. So that was the last fight on the contract for Muhammad.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so there was some pre-fight drama between the two of them. So Muhammad asked Manuel to come over for a picture in the hotel, and then he punched him in the face.
Like sucker punch.
He said bait and switch. Poof.
But there was also a lot of other shit leading up to that. And like I said, this was his last fight on his current UFC contract, and Dana White said post-fight that PFL is getting a really great fighter.
I mean, he was undefeated, right?
Correct.
He was 11-0 or something like that. So it just sucks that he.
Someone
decided
asked
to
him
be a
about
dumbass.
re-signing, and his response was the PFL is getting a really good fighter.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you're a dumbass. So
He says that the company doesn't want him back. So, yeah, Molly McCann loses via decision.
she needs to. Patty needs to teach her something.
She should really just fight when they're in England because she has the hype when she's in England,
But when she's here,
but when just like she's a good fighter, but I don't think she has that extra edge to like make her great.
I don't think she's ever gonna be like a top 5 ranked fighter in
No,
that.
I
in
wouldn't
that
even
way.
put her top 10.
No.
Moving on to the main card here, Arnold Allen wins unanimous decision 29-28 across the board after losing round 1.
Who did he fight?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
I mean, these are
Somebody.
prelims. So I really
This
don't
was the
remember.
first fight on the main card.
Yeah,
Arnold
I've
Allen's a pretty big name.
I mean, I knew who he was.
Definitely
I
didn't
just
see
don't
that
remember
fight.
And then the second fight, Christian Leroy Duncan loses via decision 30-27. Once again across the board.
Yep.
That fight obviously was very one-sided. Moving to the more important fights of the night here. Paddy Pimblett.
Love him.
Pimlet.
Paddy
the baddie.
Paddy the baddie. He submits King Green via first round triangle choke / armbar.
He said,
So
That dude was out.
so
"Yeah, like me."
So,
I woke
yeah.
up and he went to bed.
so King Green was actually out on the triangle, and then he obviously wasn't tapping because he was already put to sleep. And then Paddy rolled him over, got him an armbar. Haven't heard if there was any like arm damage or not, but his arm he was holding it pretty limp after the fight.
I don't think he raised it. He didn't even move it.
Well, it was his left arm, so he shook with his.
Well, even when
obviously
he
his
like
right
shook
foot.
Patty, he was like
Yeah.
just like dangling there.
I don't like King Green. Not a fan. Never was. He talks a lot of shit during his fight. I just say, just shut up and do what you're paid to do.
He's the fighter that keeps his hands low too, right?
Yes.
Kind of like
An idiot.
yeah.
He doesn't fight with his hands up.
Yeah, he just.
But
he think-
he's quick enough that like he
He can
has
get him up.
fast hands. But I'm just shut up and fight. That's
Yeah.
what I gotta say.
Do you remember when I told you? I said, "Could you imagine changing your name, talking all that shit, and then in about 3 minutes, you're taking a fucking snooze.
Yeah,
He took a good nap.
he did.
Yeah.
I still said what Patty should have said post-fight interview is that I'd dethrone the king.
That would have been sick.
Thought that would have been so funny.
Especially being in England, it would have
Yes.
fit perfectly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because King Green just legally changed his name like within the last.
Well, he
couple
needs to
months.
legally change it back.
He should change to loser.
Why he went for a takedown against a Brazilian black belt makes absolutely zero sense to me. Bobby Green's a stand-up fighter,
Yeah.
and obviously he tried to take him down, and then the rest is history. After that.
He tried to take him down, and that's about as far as he got. He didn't even
Correct.
get
He
any
tried.
positioning. I mean, he tried,
He tried.
and he failed.
Bad.
Tom Aspinall is a fucking dog.
Bad motherfucker.
He's a bad.
Yeah,
add
if
him.
that fight would have lasted longer than a minute, I would have been able to watch it.
Add him to the list of motherfuckers I would not fuck with.
Yeah.
Tom Aspinall's on
In
that
the
list.
ring, I feel like he's a good guy outside of the ring.
Yeah.
Like in the ring, don't even. Nope. No thanks.
He knocked Curtis Blades out 1 minute into the fight. Sort of a quick stoppage, but I don't think Blades was recovering from that. He wasn't really defending himself, but Aspinall wasn't really connecting on any of his ground and pound.
He was just eating those.
Yeah. But so that basically post-fight, Dana White says the winner of John Jones and Stipe fights Aspinall
Oh, yes, for the title.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's gonna kill them.
And someone asked Dana White, what if both of them retire after their fight? And Dana White was like, his literally response was, well, that'll fucking suck.
Really? I love Dana White.
Yeah.
He keeps it 100, and he's not afraid to say what he wants to say.
I don't think that Aspinall beats John Jones if they fight, but that's just beating John Jones does not make you the greatest of all time.
No, I agree.
He has potential to be a top maybe 5 great. He has potential to be the best heavyweight of all time,
Yeah.
but not the greatest fighter of all time.
I agree.
There's a long list of people you got to climb there.
Yep.
So I'll be very curious to see how that fight plays out in November between Jones and Stipe. Still not officially announced yet, but Jones tweeted a couple weeks ago, is like, see you in November or something
John
along
Jones
those
said,
lines.
I'm not going to get arrested for a whole 3 months.
Yep.
Or injured.
And then the main event was Bilal versus Leon Edwards.
This almost put me right back to sleep.
Yeah.
Bilal won unanimously, 248-47, 149-46. Leon just looked off that fight.
No, he
didn't look.
he was gassed by the middle of the second round.
Yeah.
It was so weird.
I think it was a lot of the ground game.
Yeah, Bilal just out wrestled him, and when you're training with Khabib and Islam,
That's what you're gonna get.
that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get the wrestling, and that's exactly what Leon Edwards got. He got the wrestling, and it's. Do I think that Bilal's gonna hold that title very long?
Depends on
could-
who he fights.
Could play either way. Leon says he wants to fight before the calendar ends again. I don't think Dana White's a big fan of that.
Fighting again.
Before the calendar year, yeah. He says he wants to fight November, December.
Yeah.
And I don't
no.
think that Dana's a real big fan of that
No.
idea right now. I think that it would be in Leon's best interest to, I don't know, maybe fight early 25, unless they're running it back.
they
and
won't
it's
run it back.
in December.
Not their first fights. I don't think they'll run it back. I think there'll be a fight in between.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me see who's the
what's the
top
rankings?
contender in that.
I
But,
think I was looking at it, but I can't remember who it was.
I respect those fights for Bilal and when you're a wrestler, but as a fan of UFC, I just want to see you both punch each other square in the nose.
So this
and beat the shit out of each other.
this weight class is kind of open. Obviously, you got Leon and then Bilal, and then at 2 you got Usman. He hasn't fought in a while. Shavkat's
I want Shavkat to get a chance.
He's well deserving. Colby, who knows the fuck what he's doing. Jack Della Mandela. Gilbert Burns, Ian Gary, Sean Brady. So Ian Gary a good fight for him to take, which he should have taken it. His last fight would be Colby Covington. I think he called out Shavkat. I wouldn't hate to see them two fight for a number 1 contender. I think that would be a really good fight, and Ian Gary actually called him out after his last fight. That's who he wants to fight. I think that would be a very good number 1 contender if the stars align and everything works with Bilal's health and all that fun stuff. But yeah, that's all I got for 3 or 4.
Yeah, that was a long day.
It was a very long day.
day.
We have the Abu Dhabi fight afternoon, not the fight night. It's the fight afternoon, and some fights I'm going to cover here. Tony Ferguson versus Michael Chiesa. Do you guys think this will be Ferguson's last fight in UFC?
Nope.
Maybe.
Everything I've seen on Twitter lately, I don't think he's gonna. I don't think it's his last fight.
I could see it either way. I don't know how many more fights he has on his contract. He'll probably just fight it out, but I mean, he's not going to get any big names anymore. Like, that's done. I didn't write this, but Nick Diaz is off that card. Not really, can't remember the exact reason, but him and Vicente Luque they're not fighting on that card anymore.
Damn.
The third fight of the night is Chito Vera versus Figueiredo.
Yep, bless you.
I think that fight's gonna be pretty good. Figueiredo obviously bumped up his weight.
Fun fight.
Yeah. I think Chito Vera takes it. I don't like Figueiredo. Never did, never will. Brandon Moreno owned you.
Bless you.
The co-main event, we got the Pirate, one of the scariest motherfuckers in the UFC. Magomedov versus, I'm only going to try to say his name because it doesn't matter because the Pirate's going to fucking win.
Alexa Juke.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what his name is because the Pirates is going to fucking demolish him.
Yeah, fair.
And then the main event is number one contender match, Sandhagen versus Umar Nurmagomedov.
That'll be another good fight.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
It would be...
This is this Saturday because it's just a fight.
Correct. So
Night
this is the number one contender to fight.
That's a good card for a fight night. We'll fight afternoon.
Very good. Yep. What are you looking up there, bud?
I'm confused.
Did Steve send you a weird text message?
Yeah. Damn. I'm just this is for to fight Sean O'Malley for bantamweight, but I just don't see
Either of them on there.
Oh, Umar's ranked 10th. That's why I didn't see him. So it's
wow.
10 versus 2, and Umar's undefeated as well. So
that's why he's getting it.
So yeah, that'll be a good fight for either guy, whoever wins for Sugar Sean.
Yeah.
And then one little thing is they're in the semifinals for the Ultimate Fighter.
Oh wow!
Last night was the first fight. The guy that I thought that was going to win, he's 23. Can't remember his name off the top of my head.
I want to say his first name's Connor with a K.
No.
Griffin.
He's 23. He lost to a wrestler from the United States. So he will now fight the winner of not next week's fight, the week after's fight on a upcoming UFC like fight night. Like
cool.
they'll be on a main card.
Yeah,
of
because
UFC
their
fight
finals
night.
are always fight nights, right?
Correct.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I'm looking forward to the end of that, and then I believe it's not next week, the week after Contender Series starts. So Contender Series is where you have guys that are trying to make a name for themselves, and there's 5 fights. It's a whole card, which I love. I believe it's on Monday nights. So all 5 guys or women, whoever fights, they fight for a UFC contract.
And they when they get a UFC contract.
If they not necessarily Dana White, like
has
if
to be
you
impressed.
Dana White will at the end of the fight be like, "Congratulations, you're now in the UFC."
You suck. Get the fuck out of here.
Correct. Just like if you lose and it's like a banger of a fight, he's given contracts to losers before.
Yeah.
He's also not given contracts to winners before. But if there's like a badass fight, there's times where he's given contracts to both because he thinks both guys are deserving. But I think I like the Contender Series more than the Ultimate Fighter. The Ultimate Fighter is cool. There's more of like background. I don't want to call it a reality show, but they show them like in training leading up to the fight. They show like clips of everyone in the house. Like the Contender Series is just you go out there, you try to kill that motherfucker. If you win, congratulations. If you lose, maybe congratulations too.
Maybe, but
that's about all I got. Last thing I want to cover here is we went to the National Card Show this past weekend, Cleveland.
I feel like shit.
Yeah.
Shout out all the card collectors that don't know personal hygiene.
They did smell some of those, dude.
I would listen.
That's what I learned.
I was actually
learned
impressed.
that in Monroeville that like
Yes.
that the card hobby, like, no offense to everybody out there, but I would say probably a little bit more than half of the card hobby smells like absolute shit.
Yeah, I would agree.
I
with you.
thought it wasn't too
I did
bad.
crop dust a lot of people, but like, but like it's just like straight BO. It's like
Yeah.
it's bad.
Yeah,
But
it is what it is.
what'd you guys think?
I had a blast.
I think it was like I said, I've been talking to a few different people about it. It's something that I think if you're into cards or into any type of collectible sports related, you need to go at least once. Do I think that venue was the right venue? Absolutely not.
No.
I think that parking situation was atrocious. Shout out to Alex for that parking pass the second day.
Like that we didn't get to use the first day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had
we have VIP parking, And there was this guy that was sitting there waving at everybody, and we had the windows down. I was like, "Excuse me." I was like, "We have VIP parking. Where do they park?" He goes, "With everyone else."
He said,
and I literally, we were driving away. I was like, "Thanks, fucking asshole!" Like, we have VIP parking. Like you said, the VIP lot was closed, but there were spots. Like you're not gonna be fucking
with everybody else.
it was
If we actually decided to like mic ourselves up and follow us around like we were like Steve could do his fucking job.
Steve
Um,
fucking asshole.
It was first off it was hilarious the whole weekend, but like we went there. They had heritage auctions were set up in like the one back corner. They had stuff that you will never like.
It was a once in a lifetime.
You will
like,
never
you'd
never see him again. They had Babe Ruth's jersey match from when he called the home run in like 1930.
30K.
They
Yeah.
wanted 30K for
Yeah,
it.
30K.
Zach on the way there, we're driving. He's like, "Did you see they have the Babe Ruth jersey? They only want 30K." And my dumbass is like, "I feel like that's cheap." And then
You know what they wanted for it?
30
mil.
million.
You know what? I'm sitting there, we're in the car, and I'm like, them fucking clowns at Clubhouse Cards want 40K for a fucking.
They want 30K
Yeah.
for Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
shot.
that ain't a bad deal. And these two Alex are back, and they're like, yeah, that doesn't sound like a bad idea.
And then Alex looked it up. He's like, "It's 30 million."
Just forgot a zero.
Like that
Couple
was
zeros.
A few zeros.
that was their main display. But then like if you went around the
They
side,
had Hank Aaron's all
All
four
four
bases
bases.
from when he broke the home run
That was
record.
sick.
Like, when
100K.
when are you ever gonna like? You're never gonna see those things again.
My favorite part were the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle heads.
The heads.
The heads were so cool.
They had the Power Ranger outfits.
The whole
Like the whole setup.
That's crazy.
It was
That was cool just to like
Walk
through
through.
it and look at. Correct. Like it's like, oh, like you're like you said, you're never gonna see that Babe Ruth game worn jersey again.
No.
Photo match. You're never gonna see it again.
I think I know Zach and I talked about it, and maybe Dill, I can't remember, but like the sickest thing that I saw all weekend was a guy selling tickets, like graded tickets. He had a PSA 10 of Kobe Bryant's last game when he scored 60 points.
That's cool.
almost bought it.
Yeah, guess what the price tag on it was?
Wasn't there. You don't
Wasn't
ask.
there, so we didn't ask. But like it was
They had a Lemieux ticket when he had 7 points in the conference finals. They had a bunch of.
He had a
fucking
lot of.
tickets.
He had a lot. Of
yeah,
tickets.
we met. I think, like I said, I think it's something you go to once. Will we ever go again? Probably not. At least the next 3 years. It's in Chicago. No, thank you. But like after that, I think it's supposed to go to Atlantic City. That might be fun. But
We did meet some cool people.
Yeah.
You guys met Gary V.
Gary V was the highlight.
Gary V was sick
Eric we met
Hecker.
Eric Hecker. Yeah, we
for
met
rack
him.
cards.
Met him. He gave us like a little giveaway thing, and Dill
Yeah.
got a redemption for it's a card.
It's like a
stand.
card
It's a
stand.
custom wood card display.
Yeah.
I don't know what it looks like because I forget, and I haven't gotten it because
It's like from Cigar or something on Twitter.
cigar stacks.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Cigar.
He makes handmade stuff.
Yeah.
We met Backyard Breaks
Well, he met back
very
breaks.
very shortly. So there was a line to meet them, right, Tiggs? So they had like their display of cards, and it was like there was one display that said like not for sale, and another one that they were like trading, whatever. So there was a line of these people, right, getting there, and we spent all day Friday looking for them, couldn't find them.
We couldn't find them.
And then Saturday we ended up finding them, and so we're like walking around the back end, and we're like, oh, there they are, right there. And we see this long ass line of people, and I'm like, yep, not standing in that line to meet them. And I'm like, dude, do you have the shirts? He goes, I think they're in the car, but let me double check. And he had them in
I'm
his
so
bag.
glad I looked.
So like, there's a table, right, and then there's a break.
Like probably about this. Like there are things here, and then there's like a flamethrower, like crane machine
The
here.
claw machine. It was they had a
They had the,
Yeah, it was
flamethrower
flamethrowers.
machine.
and then there was like a break in a table where they could walk in and out. And I'm like, watch this. I go over right to the break of the table, and I'm standing there, and Grant literally turns around and starts walking away. And I'm like, fuck. I'm standing here, right? So I'm standing there, and Grant comes back over. I'm like, Grant, I was like, I got you some merch. And he was like, the Yins cast.
Dude, he said it's so funny. It's the highlight.
And he was like, we'll rock it on stream. I was like, okay, I'm not watching our stream for the next 4
Well,
months.
Dylan could watch it every day. So
Yeah, I had to watch it every day.
You'll see clips of it too.
He was wearing one of the custom wood makers. They sent him a T-shirt. So we got a chance.
Yeah.
They're saying
I
it.
think
all I gotta say is, fuck Cards HQ and all them bitches. I stood in line for 2.5 hours, Tiggs, to try to trade cards, like to sell cards to these guys, And I go up to the counter, right? I pull out his Otani, I pull out my Otani, my Mookie Betts, my Ellie, my 2 Dominguez's, and the one fucking nerd that works there. He's like, yeah, not interested in these. He's like, what do you got on comps on this James Harden? And it's rookie, it's his gold border. I was like, I haven't seen any recent comps. I was like, I saw just like his base rookie, PSA 9 do like 55, like 50, 55, 60. He was like, yeah. He's like, I'm thinking more like 15.
I genuinely thought he was gonna punch him square in the face. Like
2.5 hours I stood there. I missed out on $48 pizza for this.
that pizza was pretty good though.
No, it was. It was fucking garbage.
Well, at the time there was nothing else there.
Well, yeah, it was the time it was good because that's all we had.
That's hilarious.
And then you know what I did? So this all started from there was this guy there that had a sign that said like buying. And I was like, oh, I'll go check him out.
He almost looked like the Heat visor too.
And like,
He did.
this is the guy in front of me. This is me, right? Dude in the back corner goes, he has a meeting to go to. He'll be back at 3. I was like, I have 3 cards to show him, and it's like 1:45. I'm like, or it was like 1:45. It was like 2 to 3 o'clock meeting at the National. And what the fuck you're meeting about? So I was like, all right. So I go back over to him, and I was like, hey, like I'm back. I got like looked at these cards, like, interested in any, and I sold both Dominguez's to him for 80.
But at
Which
least
wasn't
he was
bad.
he was
Better
cool.
than 15.
I will say,
Yeah.
so the people right in front of him, they were a bunch of like 12 to
Oh,
15-year-olds.
my God.
They turned down a deal for $760 because he offered them $740.
It was for a CMC Kaboom.
Yes,
10.
that's what it was.
I
10.
said, if my kid ever came back to my house and said, hey, Dad, I turned down $740.
And he was firm on that 740. Like he was like,
Yes.
this is my bet. Like I'm not moving.
Uh-huh.
And the kids were like 750, and he was like, no, 740.
I would.
His
I
friends were like, do it, bro, do it,
Yeah.
do it.
I actually think that I would, at 12 years old, be like, guess what? You're finding your own apartment. Because that's
Jalen Beeks is in.
that's literally insane to me.
Yeah.
$740. You turned it down over
For
20 bucks.
Yeah, you're getting your ass beat.
20 bucks. A fucking mac and cheese bag from Sheetz. That's what you turned it down for. I was like, that's dumb. I will say, I met Johnny Gargano too.
Forgot about that.
He was sick.
He goes
So hold on. So this,
Friday we see him, and he goes, is that Johnny Gargano? He's like, hey Johnny. He's like, hey, what's up, man?
he was with Candice LeRae, but she had the kids, so I was like, I don't really want to.
And then Saturday we see him.
No, it was,
it was still Friday.
It was
We still
Friday
see him
about like an
Friday.
hour later.
It was like 4. It was right around 4 o'clock because we're in like the other section, right?
I'm going through boxes, and I said he was like, I was standing here, and he was standing on the corner, and I looked up, and I saw him walking this way. I said, hey, Zach, if I ask Johnny Gargano for a picture, will you take it? He's like, yeah, why? I go, hey, Johnny, can I get a quick picture? He's like, yeah, sure, man, whatever.
You know what's crazy about this? He was on fucking SmackDown
In Nebraska.
In Nebraska, literally
3 hours.
3 hours later.
To be fair, the IX Center is literally on the runway to planes. But we were watching, and they like,
We're watching SmackDown.
it was like the tag team gauntlet, and they panned to the back, and he goes, is that Johnny Gargano? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, what if you didn't meet him? And I'm holding my phone. I'm
We're
like,
looking to see if he met
I'm
the
like,
real
well,
one
that
or not.
definitely is. I'm like, that's him.
And then Dylan goes, maybe it's pre-recorded, but then they like panned to the TV in the back of them watching the tag match, and I was like, yeah, that's not pre-recorded. He literally just flew to Nebraska.
That's hilarious.
It's probably like a 45-minute flight, to
Right.
be fair on it.
It's so funny that like we saw him
3 hours later.
They're like, hey guys, I might be a little late for SmackDown tonight.
Some
I'm in,
asshole asked for a
Cleveland."
picture and took me an extra 30 seconds.
But yeah, I would say the only other thing from National is on Saturday I had a chance to meet probably a childhood idol of mine. I met David Ortiz. He was I about stood in line for about a good, I don't know, 40 minutes maybe. But they do autographs very weirdly there. Like you have to hand what you want signed to somebody else, tell them where, and then from there they hand it to the athlete. So like you really don't have contact. Let me tell you, for $300 fucking, I'm saying something to him. So I'm like standing there, I'm like thinking in my head, like just rehearsing. I'm like, what am I gonna say? So then I finally get up
He
there.
said, silver, please.
Yeah, right. I got up there and he like signed it, and I said I have to take this chance because I don't know if I would ever have this opportunity again. I said, you've been my favorite baseball player from the time I was a kid to now. I said, my girlfriend literally hand drew you and you were on my business cards. However, my stupid ass put the business cards in the car because they were in my case that I was carrying around because I had to carry a tube from like the thing you signed. He dapped me up and I left the line and literally said to both of them, I think I could die now. Because, he didn't shake anybody else's hand, so get fucked, nerds.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was sick. I think the whole experience, like us three being together.
I'd give it like a 7.8 out of 10.
Yeah.
The only reason I wouldn't give it higher is because you didn't buy that Ken Griffey Simpsons card. They had a Ken Griffey auto, and it was like a Simpsons card, but it was Ken Griffey. They wanted $150 for it.
170.
No, they wanted $150 for that. They wanted $175 for the other
Oh,
one.
I thought it was.
And he goes, "If it's meant to be, I'll come back later. If it's still here, it's here."
That's 100% true. I did say
Yeah.
that.
It wasn't there.
You know what wasn't there?
That.
Either of them.
I got
Yeah.
some cool cards. I absolutely fleeced that dude on that skins.
Yeah. Fuck you.
That was unreal. Anyways.
There
Oh,
was-
the stained
The stained
glass
glass.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it was in the case with no price, and I said to him, I made it up for it. I got you the Davis, but I said to
He got his schemes.
I said to him, I go, wonder how much they have on that. He goes, just ask. I said, why don't you fucking ask? And he's like, just ask. And I was like, okay. I was like, hey, how much do you have on the Skeens glass? And he goes, there's no price on it. Thank you.
That's why we're asking.
And he holds it up to the guy that's like sitting in like the corner. Like it would be like where the camera would be, and where we are. He holds it up. He just turns around. He goes, hey, what's the price on this? And the guy goes, I don't even know. He's like, it's not even mine. He's like, 40. I was like, take that.
You're right.
Yeah.
Broke it. I got home and broke it right out of the PSA holder.
I had the words "ow" out of my mouth, and then I looked at, you don't know Alex, but I looked at Alex and I said, if he wasn't taking that, I was, and if I wasn't, Alex was. And if
He
Alex
probably
wasn't,
went
Dylan
home
wasn't.
and his buddy was like, "Yo, how much you sell that skis for?"
Yeah. I said,
$40.
could you imagine your friend being like, yeah, I sold it for 40. I would be like, no.
What are the comps on it?
A raw just sold for like 80.
Oh my god.
So last thing I want to cover about the National here is I went into it with two things in mind. Number one, I wanted to buy a Paul Skeens card. I did. Bought a Bowman Best out of $2.99 for $80. My most expensive card purchase to this day was that card. The other thing I wanted to accomplish was become a member of the 101 Club. And I did.
Yeah, he did.
And we're sitting there in the corner, right? And this guy walks up.
Oh, no.
And
You
he
know what
sees,
the 101 Club is, right?
I mean, not
Do you
really.
own a 101 card?
I do own a 101 card.
Okay.
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 Wait, who's your 101 card?
Who's yours 101?
What's his face from the Bengals? The guy they
Joe
drafted,
Burrow.
the guy they drafted last year, the
I forgot I
defensive
got that in the
lineman.
break.
Oh.
I forgot I got the break.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there, right? And there's like a case on the table. There's Kenny Pickett cards in there.
We walked past, and I was originally looking at a Carmelo Anthony rookie that they had because I wanted one. They had it $5. I was like, that ain't bad. And then the top whole row is Kenny Pickett cards, and he's like walking. I'm like, hey. I was like, there's a 101 in here, and I said, I guarantee.
But wait, before that, there was a 101 Flurry in a Wild uniform. They wanted 100 for.
Yeah,
we were
and-
real close.
And I was real close on that. And we're standing there, right? And this guy walks over. He goes, Kenny Pickett. He goes, that must be hot. And then the both of us are like, can we see that Kenny Pickett? And he starts laughing at us. And he's like, I'm a Steelers fan, but I would never buy that card. And me and him didn't say a fucking word to him. I'm like, buddy, I don't give a fuck. It was like a leaf, like
It was a
printing
printing
plate.
It
plate.
was a printing plate.
I got it for $25.
Oh, and it was stickered auto.
Yeah, so who cares?
I was like, I don't give a fuck what you think. I was like, I want a 101.
Where is it? Is it?
It's sitting down there somewhere.
Where's Paul?
It's also
Paul's not even up, dude.
no, I've been
What
busy.
the fuck is wrong?
Before you got here, the cards were in the same place.
The hobby box was still in our garage.
I
But,
believe that.
yeah, it's about all we got today, boys. Good podcast.
Yeah, a little bit of a longer one, but
Longer one. Shout out Joe for joining us
Yeah,
again. That
thanks,
was,
Joe.
That was a blast.
We had a,
Like a
lot of
bucko
fun.
blast.
Yeah,
See
bucko
what I-
blast. I
yeah,
like
see
that.
what I
Joe, get on Family Feud. Get
Yeah.
it back.
Yeah.
So as always,
Oh, Miles Murphy, that's his name.
we'll review our podcast here with our hot take. So Corey says that Simone and Suni are going to take gold in the all-around competition.
That has a really strong chance.
Who is
But this is Corey.
is
He might have
Suni,
just screwed them.
an American? Okay. I'm just
Simone,
trying.
if you are listening to this, Corey's not here right now. Anything happens, blame him.
This is Make-A-Wish.
Yep, that ball's gone. See ya.
Tiggs, what you got this week?
Well, we're almost there. I said that De La Cruz is going to homer in his first game with the team, so we'll know about that by next hour.
Minutes, yeah.
Did Jimmy?
I said Sid's extension will get signed with a pay increase.
I can see it on 8-7.
Yeah, that was kind of, we're like right around the time frame where he likes to be at. So
I said that the Pirates are gonna go. They're gonna win 4 out of 6 or better on their next homestand, which is against
Arizona
Down
and
back.
Arizona
San Diego.
and San Diego.
Yep.
Yep. So 2 teams that are above us.
We'll
so.
be there Tuesday and Wednesday. Paul Skeens.
Dill, why don't you run us off here?
I'm going to go real bold here. I'm going to say Xander Schauffele goes back-to-back for Olympic gold in golf.
okay.
He's been hot, and I think he's just going to continue it.
So yeah, that wraps up episode 35.
Thirty-
Colin Holderman
Yeah.
just gave up a home run.
Yep.
35.
Yikes.
35 in. We're on the high side to 50.
Whoever thought we'd get past 5?
Did you?
Yeah,
Nate.
I was confident. Take
What
a
was
sip.
our old podcast name? Haw Yeet.
Haw
Check out
Yeet.
the Haw Yeet podcast.
It's
Please
still,
don't.
It's still there, unfortunately.
Please
Ugh.
don't.
Yeah, please don't. Save yourself. If you want to listen to a good podcast, boys being boys. That's what you want to listen to.
The only thing Haw Yeet contained was Dylan thinking about us in the shower.
Yep. He's like, I was actually thinking about you guys in the shower. He did say that. Yep, that's enough for that. That wraps up episode 35. Before we end, I just want to give one more shout out to Joe Klimchak. Thanks for coming on. Means a lot to us. One last shout out, actually. Ben LaCmonte. My fucking guy. If you're listening, I'm your number one fucking fan, buddy. I am your number one fan. And on that note, get Yinzer, get out, and we'll see you next time.